Welcome back to the sixth episode of the 71st Hour podcast. My name is Seto or Ben. I am joined by my lovely co-host, Jamie. What do I call you, Seto?
Hello, how's it
Jamie.
going? Yeah, it's me. Hey, how's it
Yes,
going?
it is him.
Yes.
And he's back. The man himself, the technician. Nathan is back from his lovely vacation. Look, we kind of just have a conversation for 2 minutes. I'm not gonna lie. So
We're gonna have this conversation again.
We're
Let's
gonna
do it
have
again.
it-
Let's
yeah,
do it again.
exactly.
How was your holiday? How are you
How
2
was your
weeks?
holidays, Nathan?
I had a good 2-week vacation.
Yep.
What did I say last time? Yeah, for context, we thought we recorded this for like 2
Yes.
minutes. I didn't press the record button, so we're just
Yeah,
gonna
Well, you
talk
did
again.
say you narrowly avoided natural disaster.
Yes.
That- yeah,
narrowly
yes,
There was a
avoided
cyclone.
cyclone
Cyclone.
and flooding.
So wait,
And-
did the cyclone and flooding happen before or after you? Before, right?
Flooding was before, and then
Yeah.
the cyclone was during while I was there, which caused
Oh,
more
right.
flooding.
Wow,
Okay.
Good fun.
Damn. All right.
Yeah. And then I experienced my first earthquake.
Yes.
Yes.
Which
How was that?
Yeah, how
It
was
was
that for everybody?
Very shaky.
You understand.
As earthquakes are
Yes.
known to do. It was also you said it was 6.0. That's
Yeah,
right. You said it was
6.0.
6.0. So that's
Yeah.
wait, what's the top again? Is it
10.
It's
but-
10? Okay.
I think they've
Yeah.
gone higher than that, but like it's not linear. It's
Right.
yeah.
okay.
nice
Yeah,
curve.
exactly.
Yeah.
So you said, Jamie, that you also experienced an earthquake in Sunshine
I did
Coast?
say that. Yeah, I
Yeah.
experienced an earthquake on the Sunshine Coast. Yeah, this I was talking about this, and then
Mhm.
then we
Yeah.
realized we weren't recording.
It's all fresh now.
Yeah,
all
it's all,
fresh.
this
Yeah,
is
we're
all
back
new
to back.
content. Basically, what I was saying is it was a very mild earthquake, and I feel like the only people that felt it were people who were like lying down, who or
Mhm.
like were sitting, who weren't like standing and walking.
Yeah.
Because I felt it, and I was like, obviously, it was like midday, and I was in bed because I was a fucking lazy ass teenager.
Of course.
Naturally. I'm a gamer, dude.
Yeah.
And I was like, I could feel my bed shaking,
Mhm.
and my wardrobe was moving, like it was a mirror wardrobe, and I could hear
yeah.
the like one of the doors shaking, and I was
Mhm.
like, I'm like
That's
half
all
asleep. I'm
right.
like, am I feeling that? Like, is that what's
Yeah.
happening? And I woke
was
up
a
and I was
pretty
like, I
decent
said to
one
my
too.
mom, "What's up?"
That was a pretty decent one too. I think it was a 5 or a 6, but it was in like Rainbow Beach, so it was a while
Yeah,
away.
it just yeah, right. Yeah,
Yeah.
so it wasn't too bad. Like as I said, like I said to my mom, I was like, "It was an earthquake," and she was like, "I didn't feel an earthquake." I was like, "Oh."
Yeah.
And then she read it. She was like, "Oh yeah, earthquake." I was like, "Yeah, that's what I felt."
cool.
Yeah. So that was my first experience, and I was lucid. Like I was barely lucid.
Yeah.
I was very,
Yeah.
very half asleep. So
Anyway, I immediately texted or messaged my Trang's
Mhm.
like brother and sister because they're also in New Zealand. We were visiting
Right.
them
Oh,
while we
yeah,
were there.
yeah.
I was like, earthquake, and they're like, yeah, and it's like a
Yeah.
daily thing for them. They're like, who gives a fuck?
they're
Yeah.
very used to it. Yeah.
That's-
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like in America when I grew up in like Atlanta, California, earthquakes are like small earthquakes are pretty common. You feel them quite a lot, right? So you're kind of sitting there, and I'm exactly the same, where it's kind of like that. And when I was in Melbourne, an earthquake happened in Melbourne. My one of my friends at the time called me like, "Hey, are you okay?" Because like earthquakes are not common here. Like, "Hey, are you okay?" What I'm like, yes.
chilling.
What's going
What
on?
happened?
Yeah, like it's
Just
an
small
earthquake. It was an earthquake, and I was like, yeah, it's just yeah, no, in some places it's very common. I think people are just used to it. It's just like
Yeah.
gets the tingles. You know what I'm saying? That's all it is.
It's crazy because I like recently looked up like where all the fault lines are on the tectonic plates because of
Yeah.
obviously what's happening in on the border of the country-
Syria.
Serbia,
Syria
right?
and
Serbia.
Turkey.
Yeah.
And like seeing California, it's like like they're split between two tectonic plates, like a massive fault line right through California.
The California fault. Yeah, man, that's an entire thing. That's an entire thing because
And,
apparently it's supposed to like break and whatnot and like split it. Like,
Yeah.
you know the movie what's it called San Andreas or something?
one with The
I
Rock?
have heard of
Yeah,
I have heard of the
that-
hit movie
not-
starring Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
It's not going to be like that, but like that actually is.
I would hope not.
Yeah.
No, everyone would
but
be
that
dead.
actually is like a legitimate thing. When the tectonic plate is supposed to split, it's supposed to happen eventually. Like I think it's already supposed to happen. So like it's
They're
supposed to
predicting it. They're like, oh, let's see if California can get fucked up. Let's
yeah,
see,
California
let's see
gonna
what
die this
happens.
year.
But yeah, like we're actually relatively lucky in Australia. Like we're just
Oh,
like
Close to nothing,
in
yeah.
the center of a
Yeah, we're
plate,
good.
basically.
Yeah,
like
we're
there's
good.
no fault lines near us, so
Yeah, man.
we're chilling.
dude.
When the
Oh,
end of
oh,
the
yeah.
world comes and all these natural disasters happen, I mean, what's the worst that can happen to us? Bushfires?
Yeah.
Lots of really bad bushfires, actually.
Yeah,
Really,
really,
like
yeah, really bad
there'll be
bushfires.
bushfires and flooding. The flood water will be on fire.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Very good.
so while
All right, well,
America's
that's
having the
5 minutes of geology news. So
awesome, yeah, that's your geology fix for this week. We'll be back next week for we're going to talk about tornadoes.
Yes. Look, there hasn't been that much gaming stuff this week. There hasn't really. There hasn't been that much gaming stuff.
Actually, I was going to say one thing. Next week's segment on tornadoes is going to be called NATO's Tornadoes. Thank you.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Anyway, yeah, you talk about there's no gaming news.
Yeah, we haven't really had that much this week. Like, we were hoping that the Sony event was gonna happen, but it's happening tomorrow virtually. So we'll talk about that next week.
And the Forza thing, and the
Forza thing,
DLC announcement happening tomorrow.
Yeah, it's happening tomorrow as well.
Oh, just that,
Literally
really close,
just misses it. But look, we did have some ideas to talk about. Jamie, this was your idea, so I will let you kind of go off with it.
You would think that I would have any idea of how we're gonna structure this, but I definitely
look.
do
I think
not.
it's just a conversation. To be honest, I think
It's just a conversation. It's going to be very casual, very unstructured. Nothing too crazy about it. But it's funny because my initial prompt for this was I was thinking about live service games.
Yeah.
Because we've got a new Destiny expansion coming out next week. Destiny, pretty popular live service game. And then I was also thinking about. You've played Destiny. Nathan.
You played
That's all right.
You played a decent amount. It's all right. Okay. I mean, it is all right. For a scrub, for a noob who's not initiated fully into the ecosystem of Destiny. And then I was thinking about Overwatch because Overwatch 2 recently took the plunge into live service, being a games as a service. Although, Overwatch 1 sort of was a live service game to an extent. It just wasn't as structured with seasonal content.
Yeah, it had loot boxes and whatnot. So,
but then the Sony announcement happened, which the conference is happening. By the time you're seeing this, it's already happened. Which is why I wasn't going to say we should talk about our expectations of the Suicide Squad because it's already going to be out. So there's no point predicting anything. But I thought we could talk about what we think Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League needs to do as a live service game to be a good live service game. So what do we think?
It's loaded.
I mean, it is kind of loaded.
It is a very loaded question. It
is because I think it's going to be bad.
I agree with that.
I don't think I don't know how this is going to go. You know what I mean? Maybe it will be amazing. Maybe Rocksteady produced 3 of the best video games ever made, right? Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, Arkham Knight. Arkham Knight to a lesser extent, but City and Asylum really good. And Knight is even, I feel like since Gotham Knights has come out, Arkham Knight has had oh wow, you know what? Arkham Knight's pretty good compared to Gotham Knights.
Yes.
So they've got a fantastic catalog that they've produced over the years.
True.
But it has been a while since they've made a game. They've released a game, right? It's been 8 years since Arkham Knight, which is crazy, right? It's been nearly a decade since the Arkham trilogy ended. You guys haven't played the Arkham games, have you?
No, I have.
Probably half of the first one.
Okay.
I have played all of them.
You played all of them. There you go.
Yes.
And once again, Luca would be the best person to talk to about this. He's not here.
Nathan, you should go away. We got to look back at the time.
Hey, I wasn't here for the Nintendo news, so
that's true. Yeah, that's true. That's very true. So yeah, when I initially think about what I'm looking for in a live service game, it's sort of not a superhero live service game, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't know if I necessarily. I mean, first of all, I don't necessarily want to play as a Suicide Squad. I don't think that's it's a third-person shooter. So, I feel like I played a lot of third-person shooters, and I wonder if maybe that idea, the idea was when we're going to make a live service game, or Warner Brothers said we want you to make a live service game because that's popping off right now. And this was obviously 2016 era-ish. And so far we've sort of seen that decline of live. I feel like live service has become kind of like a dirty term.
It has. 100%.
You think about Outriders or Outriders.
Yeah,
Outriders.
Yeah.
There's been
they were we're not a live service game. We're just going to release and then we'll see what happens with support. But we're not. We're releasing a full game because I think live service, it's sort of loaded to people expect a live service game to be unfinished.
I was going to say, right? Yeah, 100%.
So I guess the first thing that Suicide Squad should be is a finished game that feels like a full experience.
Yep.
Do we think it'll be that?
I reckon there will be like a 10-hour finished story that is a reasonable experience.
Mm-hmm.
That is
I'm
my
sort of
expectation.
I'm sort of in the same camp.
Yeah.
Where I mean, even if we look at this trailer, it's a campaign. Good
Yeah.
cutscenes. It feels like it's going to have a story that people want to pay attention to. Anyway, Seto, you would go on.
I was gonna say that I think it's gonna be like polished. You know what I mean? I think it's gonna have like a little bit of polish to it, as you guys said. Like it's good, like 10-hour campaign. I think it will be there. With its aspects of online, I don't know how that's gonna go, but I think that's a different topic. But yeah, I think it at least would be. It needs to be finished in some sort of the word. You know what I mean? It has to have some sort of meat to its bones, which
And
is
it does. I guess saying like it needs to be finished is kind of silly to say, but with how live service games sort of go, it sort of is like you don't expect them to be finished. You sort of expect them to be like, like it's what EA said about Skate, which is Skate 4 is coming out, or I think it's just called Skate. And they were like, day one of Skate is just the beginning.
Yeah.
I fucking hate that shit.
I hate that.
I hate the idea of like where day one is just the start. It's like, no. Day one should be, here is a game and now we're going to build on it.
Yeah.
Not here's a chunk of a game and then we're going to build on it into like eventually making a full game,
Yeah. I think personally that like if I had to look, like if you had to like manage your time some way, I would rather have a game come out that was polished, no bugs, nothing like that, and had like less content than the game that had more content is a horrible buggy mess. I think that's like where I think a decent amount of people kind of sit in that scenario. Like because if you look at other live service games that came out that are train wrecks, like Fallout 76, Anthem, you know what I mean? The big thing about them that people hated was mainly the bugs, right? That was the big thing, was that issue. So like a 10-hour campaign, I think, good. And I think that, yes.
Do you think it's only going to be 10 hours?
Oh,
between 10 and 20. 20
right.
being
Yeah,
max.
10 to 20.
That seems about
Yeah.
right. Yeah, I was going to say, I feel like 10 might be too short.
Oh,
I
it
don't
would
know.
be, but that's what my expectation is.
I guess so. That's a
Same.
good point. Yeah.
Same.
Like, because I'm just trying to think of like what Rocksteady, like the campaigns they've made in the past for like the Arkham games. I can't remember how long they usually are. I want to say that they've gotten longer, like as they went. I think Asylum was like a modest amount of time, like maybe it was like 12 to 15 hours.
Night was like
Night's long. I'm pretty sure, isn't it? Like
30,
you know what?
30,
Just
40.
cover the kill the dead air, and I'm gonna look up how long to beat.
The other thing I was gonna say is this: we know there's gonna be a battle pass. There's always a battle pass, right? And I'm of opinion that battle pass can actually be decently to good. I think there's a lot of games.
Can be decent.
I think there's a lot of games that actually do battle passes well. I think there's a lot of games that do battle passes horrible. And I think it needs a good battle pass that is rewarding.
I think is an example of a bad battle pass.
An example of a bad battle pass. Oh, off the top of my head,
I've got one. If you,
please tell me.
I think the Call of Duty battle passes have been pretty bad in the past.
True,
but not so much for the content, but how long they take to complete.
Yes, that's a good
point. And that's another thing, right? That's what I want. That's what I wouldn't want Suicide Squad to be, is a grindy fucking battle pass.
Yeah.
It takes like, you have to grind, and even Valorant, right, Nathan? Like that's a battle pass. You need to dedicate a solid amount of time to that game. Like it's not. It doesn't.
I commit my life to that.
Yeah, right. It was at least 2 games a day.
Yeah, that first season, I played like 2 to 3 hours a night for every single day of that season, and I didn't even complete it.
No, it's for the for the dailies. Like, I don't want to, like in a perfect world, I want a live service game to hold my attention, but release its grip from my neck when I want to move away from it.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? Like, and let me play other stuff, but not make me feel that I need to stay, like, I feel like I'm chained to it.
But there's also the problem. I feel like too many games have battle passes.
Yes.
So then you like want to move on to a new game, and it's like, oh, now I got more. I got 2 battle passes, 3 battle passes, 4 battle passes.
It's like every season of like Destiny, Call of Duty, Fortnite, 3 battle passes to get through.
Mhm,
It's like it's
mhm.
too much. It's way
Yeah.
too much. It's like I want to play some single player games, but I'm like, well, this season's about to end. I need to.
Yeah.
It's just it's feeling of missing out.
The
It's total FOMO.
Yeah.
the
Battle passes are built on FOMO, and it's
mhm.
kind of predatory. I gotta say.
He's a
The
bit.
I will say, the battle pass I think I like the most,
Mhm.
ironically, I think it's Fortnite's. The reason why
Yeah.
is because the challenges that help you out
Mhm.
stay forever until the season is done. So let's say you
Sure.
have a
Oh,
week
well,
left.
they did actually revert that for a little bit this season.
Oh, they did?
They got rid of
It
it, where it was like, yeah, it was weird where they were just like, I think because the Fortnite Battle Pass is pretty easy to complete.
it is quite easy
Like
to
we kind of play casually, right? Like
Yeah.
every
Real
once in a
casually.
while. Yeah, exactly. It's not, we're not playing every day or every week
Yeah.
even. Um, and it's always been I feel like I've never had issue getting
Yeah,
to
exactly, like,
Battle Pass 100. Obviously, getting to 200 is a different story, but at least 100, like it's not too bad.
right now, like, we have played, I would say, less in this season, less than probably, 20, 30 hours, and
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
you're 70, I'm
Nearly
50.
70. Yeah.
Yeah, like, we are quite far through
And
already.
also not even really like focusing on challenges either. Like maybe a
Exactly,
little bit here and there. Like I mean, we're going for the Geralt of Rivia skin
yeah,
in Fortnite, so that's sort of like something that we're pushing towards.
mhm,
But when we're just generally playing to like win, we're still completing challenges, which I really appreciate.
yeah,
And I think a
exactly.
lot of other games can learn from that because their challenges are like even Destiny is has this issue for some of their challenges where they're like, we want you to do something very specific
Yeah,
that you may not want to do.
Yeah.
mhm,
That's
Whereas Fortnite has so many challenges that you're bound to complete some.
yeah,
That's
and
nice. That's a nice
the
feeling.
and I think the big thing with me with Fortnite is that it actually feels like there's a lot of battle passes, okay, that doesn't feel like it's worth getting the battle pass, but you
Like
still do
like
it
the
because
actual
it's later.
content itself.
Yeah, the content itself,
Call
right?
of Duty springs to mind.
Yeah,
The
for
most
me.
recent battle pass for Warzone 2, not that great.
Mhm, mhm.
Anyway,
For
go
for
on.
for me, I was actually gonna say, because I play this game a lot, the only reason, like, getting an Overwatch battle pass is for the hero. Literally, I'm saying that right now.
Well, yeah.
Only reason.
Yeah, that's true.
Um, like,
And see,
literally,
I
like,
think that's an issue.
yeah,
that is
I
an
don't like
issue.
that. I don't
locking
think
Yeah.
and I think a lot of
no,
people don't like that.
no, locking a hero behind a paywall is not a good thing at all. Now, I will
Wait,
preface.
does that become available at the end of the season?
Yeah, so
Hmm.
I'll quickly explain. Yeah, so with Overwatch 2, basically, if you get the battle pass, you get the hero right away. It's level 1, you get the hero right away, right? Otherwise, you have to wait till level 44-ish or something like that, right? And then you have to rank up on.
It is 45.
It's 45, yeah. It's you have to go all the way to level 45 to actually get the hero for free,
Maybe it's not
right?
50. Yeah.
Now the thing is, ranking up in the battle pass is actually pretty easy if you own the battle pass,
Yeah.
because when you own the battle pass, you get a plus 20% XP. You get the
Well, I
friends with
mean,
a
okay,
friend.
here's the thing. Sort of agree with you. Sort of.
Mhm.
But when you were doing like say the season 1 battle pass,
Yeah.
you were playing like every day
Oh, but the
and
thing is,
doing all the
so
dailies.
yes, yeah. So I for context, that's how much I play Overwatch. I get to, like, at the end of the battle pass, like 180, 190, right?
Yeah.
I get really far,
It's a lot.
but I have there like the thing about the battle pass is that there's dailies and weeklies, and they give you an extraordinarily shit ton amount of XP. It's dumb. Each weekly gives you 5,000, and each level is only 10,000, and there are
Yeah,
15 weeklies that you could do.
sure.
Right, so you can literally just do the weeklies, and you will still get the battle pass done by the end. You'll still get to level 100. You'll still do it. Like, I have many friends that literally just do that. They'll get on, do the
I
weekly.
will say the reason I didn't finish the season 2 battle pass is because I uninstalled the game.
That is
I
understandable.
physically stopped
That'll
playing
do
it
it.
because I was
Yeah.
like, you know what? Nah, I'm
The
good.
Yes. The thing about Overwatch, and like this actually goes into Suicide Squad, and this is my
Mhm.
issue, is that since it is locked behind a battle pass, we have seen right now two heroes come out that both were strong. We had Kiriko,
Mhm.
very strong, still is very strong, and Ramacha, who's very
Wait,
strong.
is that an issue? Do you think that's a problem that Kiriko's a strong character?
Uh in higher level play, yes.
Well,
Uh,
I don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, but the thing about Kiriko as well is that she negates. This can go into Overwatch talk, but I'll quickly say she
Just
negates a lot.
just
But
a
the issue,
small one sentence.
yeah, she basically counters every other healer.
Yeah.
The issue is is that when a hero like that is locked behind a battle pass, it makes you pretty basically have to buy it, right? Unless you want to
And that's
grind
why
the
they do it.
game at 4, right?
It's
That's
it's
the
like
issue.
in Valorant, same thing.
Mhm.
When a new hero releases, they specifically and I don't think this is this has to be like a design decision. Like
Absolutely. Yeah.
I'm sure they'll be like, oh, it's an accident. Whoops, we made this really overpowered character. It's like, no,
Oh
that's
no, it's a
they are
design
100
decision.
on that whiteboard. They're saying we need to make this the fucking
They
coolest character to
they
drive monetization, like
they
100%,
want
and
you.
that's
Yes,
fine.
yeah,
Like
they want you to
you've
buy
got to
it.
sell, you got to make money. Like that's your free to play game. It
They,
makes sense, but
they want you to buy it,
just
right?
fucking
That's
own
the
it.
thing. They want you to buy it. They want
Yeah.
you to buy the character. You want you to spend money. So of course you're gonna make the character a little bit stronger. So they'll bring it down later.
Sure, you want to shift the meta in favor of that character.
Yes. And that is my issue. This is like an interesting thing. Live service games that are hero based, I feel like do not work in the long run by any means. I don't think they work at all in the long run by any means. I think that
I think it is dependent on if that character is easily attainable afterwards.
yes. So that's the thing, right? Is that
How does it work in Overwatch?
so in Overwatch, I don't know exactly how easy it is to
I'd
obtain the hero
hope you
afterwards.
just get the character at the end of the season.
No. So
Nah.
I know with Kiriko. So I know with Kiriko, this is how it worked with Kiriko. In season 2, there were a set of challenges you had to do, but the challenges was literally like play like 10 games of support or something like that. It was like just literally
Okay.
play a certain amount of games of support. It wasn't like do
Um,
like 80,000 heals or
I have
something.
another question. Did you have to unlock all the other heroes first before being able to unlock the newer hero?
No, no. So
Okay.
the newest
I was gonna say
yeah,
because they do with the like if you say you make it a vanilla account, you've never played Overwatch 1 before,
mhm.
you don't have any characters, you had to do like was it 50 games?
It was something like that. It was like 50
50
games.
hours to
So
get
what it was
all the
so
characters?
what it was you played 3 games and then you'd get a new hero, 3 games, get a new hero, 3
Yeah.
games, get a new hero. That's how
There's a
so I
lot of
know
heroes. There's a lot
yeah,
of
yeah.
heroes in this game.
That's how you would do it, right?
Yeah.
And what happened was so Kiriko is in a different set of challenges. Like those heroes are a different set of challenges to that challenge,
Yeah,
right?
okay.
They both
I
were
wasn't
different.
sure if that's how they did it. They're like, we're not going to give you the new stuff. You need to unlock the old stuff first.
No, that's how it worked. But
Well, that's at
I-
least a net positive.
yeah, but I think that like hero shooters do struggle with that, especially in longer game, especially the longer the time the shooter has been out, or the longer time the
What
hero
about
has been a shooter.
Siege?
Well, Siege is a great example as well. That's been out for so long that they have completely, I think, lost the identity of what Siege was in the first place, right?
Bro,
If you
Siege has
look,
Bro,
become
that
such a meme
game.
to me.
if you look at Siege, like if you look at all the characters, some of the newest characters have like holograms that you turn into, and you have like cameras that like go around drones, and then there's a guy with a sledgehammer that was the original character. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? They lost because the idea of the game was that it was like this realistic hero shooter, but everything has gone so futuristic now. But the other issue is that they start to copy each other's abilities. How many characters in Siege have an ability that could just blow a hole in the wall differently? You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Well, to be fair, that is kind of the core mechanic. One of the
It
core
is.
mechanics of the game is to
The
blow
thing is,
walls, to blow up
yes.
walls.
No, it is
You don't
100%,
blow
but
walls. There's no blowing walls.
there's no blow. Yeah, but
You
like
blow up walls. Anyway.
you blow up walls. But like basically, there's so I'll look it up after this. But there's so many different types of hard breachers. There's so many different types of those in the game. Where like there's some where it's like a roll down explosion, some where it just blows up the
Yeah,
wall,
that's
so it
right.
blows up in like different circles, right? It's all of these different ways of just making a hole in a wall, right? Which is
Yeah.
understandable, but like it's just there's
But
so
also,
many
like,
of those.
why? Like, why
Yeah,
do they keep like? I mean, I feel like you only need like 2 or 3,
yeah,
and
exactly. But there
then
are so
you
many.
kind of covered your bases. Like,
Mhm.
I don't know, Siege. I feel like is just not in the conversation ever. You know what I mean? Like,
No.
I don't know if I'm just like completely so detached from that community that like maybe there is discussion about Siege, but I just don't see anything about it.
We did take a look. I remember like this was like a month ago where we actually took a look at the player count of Siege, and it's dropped drastically since back in the day. Like
Yeah.
back in the day, it had like 60,000, 70,000 players like average
I'm
daily.
honestly
And now it only has
surprised they
like
haven't gone free to play because it's not free to play, right?
nope, still pay. I am also very surprised it's not
Pretty
free to
But
play.
shocking.
but it's always on sale for like $12. It's like
Exactly.
just
Make it free to play. Just
make
make
it free to play.
Yeah, it's just
You
it's
and there was like a cheaper option because that's the one that Liam bought where
Yeah, the one
he
with like
could
no characters.
yeah, yeah.
So bad.
if we knew that he was gonna have to grind like 20 times as much to get those characters, we probably wouldn't have recommended the cheaper
Oh.
version.
But like the thing is as
I
well.
think he's only earned like 3 characters maybe, legitimately. Like, yeah. Anyway,
But this is the issue when it comes to stuff like that, is that there are still so many characters in Siege that are good that are from the base game. Like Ash, I'm pretty sure is still one of the best. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
I
Like,
keep going back to the base ones all the time.
yeah, like
Yeah.
they're like because the thing is that when abilities start to get copied, and they're basically the same thing just with a different paint, right?
yeah.
You just do the original. You do the one you're used to, right?
The
And
one
that's
you have,
the
right?
one you have,
Like,
right?
yeah, like I don't know,
And
but what's the point of? And I think what they do is they sort of like make the newer characters slightly enough better that
Mhm.
people are like, oh, I mean, it's
Well,
meta.
like
I got to
a
do it.
great example of that was between Thermite and the other new one. I forgot what the new one was, but basically Thermite, you have to walk up to the wall, plant your
Sure.
charge, you can blow the
Yeah.
wall. The new one, you just toss it at the wall, right? Small, different, but it's enough to where the new guy is better. You know what I mean? You don't have to stand next to the wall to
Yeah.
actually do it. That's the difference, right? So that's what you mean is that like they have to make it a little better. But then the next new comes in is power creep, which
Yeah.
is again
Really
always an
bad.
issue with these types of games. Is power creep is such an issue.
Now, I will say a good thing is that Suicide Squad there is no like PvP multiplayer that we
Yes,
know of.
exactly.
I would,
Yeah,
God, I would hope not. Man,
yeah, but dude,
I hate
don't
that
do
I
it.
put that.
Don't
I've
do it.
even put that out there.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
It's only a PVE game where you are in a it's a co-op PVE game.
Mhm.
So I'm not sure if they're gonna add new characters. Like I don't know if they haven't mentioned that. They're like you play as what Harley Quinn, Captain Boomerang, King Shark, and Deadshot.
If
That's
the
the 4
game
characters.
if the game does well and it's popular
You can
and
see
it
them adding more.
survives, 100%. It's
Yeah.
Like an
character based.
Avengers kind of thing.
I could see it. I could see them adding, I don't know, Captain Cold. You know what I
Bruh.
mean? I could see them
Did you see
adding.
that
Not touch that.
Avengers is shutting down?
Wait, what
Wait,
is?
what?
Avengers is shutting down. Did you
Oh, is
saw
it
that,
really?
right? Yeah,
Like,
I
it's
so soon.
they're yeah, well, so it came out in 2020.
Yeah, it's only been
Um
3 years.
Avengers I want to look at
Was
when
that
it's shutting down.
was that quicker than Anthem? Or was that slower than
It
Anthem?
is
Oh,
being
that was quick. That was
delisted at
slow.
the end of
Sorry.
this year. Delisted. You won't be able to play
Wow.
it at all.
Delisted.
Delisted. It's gone.
Avengers is shutting down to be delisted later this year.
Holy shit.
Final
Wow.
update will be March 31st.
There you
Yeah.
go.
At least they didn't pull.
So
At least they didn't pull something like Anthem, where they were like, "Oh, we're gonna make Anthem 2.0," and then nothing for a year.
But the sad thing about that was it was just COVID. COVID
Yeah.
killed that
Mm.
because they were
Oh,
just like
really?
it was because they had a small team and they couldn't meet like certain deadlines because they had a smaller team, they were working from home, like it was the infrastructure wasn't set up to work to do game development from home.
Yeah.
So they lost so much progress or so much momentum, I guess, and they just didn't hit certain
Oh,
goals, and EA was like, sorry, like it's just
there
not
you go.
ready. It's
Yeah,
not ready for prime time.
makes sense.
Which is super sad because I
That's
really do think like, and obviously like thinking about it now, maybe Anthem 2.0 or Anthem whatever next level, whatever the fuck, No Man's Sky ish update, maybe
yeah.
that would have failed still, regardless. But it's sort of sad they didn't get a chance.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
did like Anthem. Do you know there's still people that believe Anthem is gonna get brought back? There
I
are still
remember.
people.
I remember like last year we looked at the subreddit for Anthem and it had like 12 people.
So much cope.
I did. I
Like,
looked at it
12
again.
people messaging like every day. I don't think that's happening these days, right? Surely
No,
not.
it
surely
is.
not.
It is. I looked at it a couple days ago.
No
I looked at it a
shot.
couple
There's
days
no
ago.
way. I'm looking at it
Take a
right
look.
now. I want to see the last post.
While you're doing that, I'm gonna quickly just state if there's anyone watching that's a part of that subreddit. Look,
Oh my
Antham's dead.
god.
Antham's dead.
6
Okay,
hours
Just-
ago.
Yeah.
18 hours ago. Anthem
What?
is the most underrated game ever.
Yeah. Yeah. Look,
Oh
look, I'm sorry. If anyone
Oh.
is watching this,
Oh,
if anyone's
God.
watching this, and they're
Oh my
part of the
god,
subreddit,
yesterday
it
was
needs
the
to come back.
anniversary of Anthem.
That's why there's so many posts, man.
People are
If you-
thinking about it.
If you think it's gonna come back, I'm sorry, buddy. It's dead.
No.
It's dead.
It's not coming
It's
back.
not coming back. It's dead.
Oh
And like I
my
see so many people
God.
say, like EA will sell the rights to another company will do it. There's
No,
so
they
much
won't.
copium. There's so much copium
They
going
will
on.
not.
It's really sad. It's really, really sad.
They want to keep that in case they want to make a game over 20 years in the future.
Yeah, exactly, right? And they could.
I need
Dude,
to go off the subreddit. It is depressing. It is
It is,
really
isn't it?
sad.
It is.
The
It's
top, the
really
pinned
sad.
post is the last blog post saying Anthem is ceasing development,
yes.
Oh
and it's
my
a bunch of
God.
people in chat saying,
Pinned.
"Yeah, the top of the subreddit is that last update saying
Mhm.
we are stopping."
And there are still so many people that still
That's
believe, and
funny.
there's so many people that said like that was bullshit and whatnot. It's insane. There's so much copium going on there.
Well,
But
to be honest, it is bullshit. Like,
oh yeah,
like AJ bought 3 versions of that game. He
oh
bought it
yeah,
3
oh.
times
When I say
and
it's
spent all
bullshit,
that
it's
money,
a
and the game is just not being worked on now, and it's
when
not
I
finished.
I'll quickly say when I say it's bullshit, they actually think that they are lying and they are still developing it. There's people that believe that.
Well, yeah, they're
That's
just
what I
gonna be
mean.
like, we're ceasing development, and then secretly they're working on
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
Man,
But
Did they
no,
give refunds for that game?
no,
no, no.
Really?
Yeah.
no, it was
Wow.
2. I mean, the game was developed for 2
Like
years, I guess.
it worked
Like,
in its state that it was
and it still works
promised.
now. You can still play
Okay.
it.
Yeah,
Right.
you still
Okay.
play it.
It's just like there's no content. Like, I think the last
Yeah.
content update was
The Cataclysm update.
the what?
Cataclysm update.
A Cataclysm update. Yeah, they were gonna be like these cool like raid-ish things, and it wasn't that, right? I don't even know what
I
it even was.
you want
You
to
like go into the
I
storm
played it.
and then
I played it. So the
I don't know.
Cataclysm update was this. Okay, this
Yeah.
is what it was. So preface. They explained Cataclysm as being this thing where when this one started, you go into it and it'll be like this massive raid. You know what I mean? Like you would
Hmm.
fight a big boss or some shit, really cool shit in like a storm.
It was in like the first gameplay reveal.
Yeah,
Like
yeah. You see them
it ended with them like flying
going
into the
into
storm, and it was like
exactly.
Anthem
Yeah,
2017. Didn't come
yeah.
out 2017. Came out 2019. So a
Um.
little bit after that.
So what Cataclysm actually were? You would go into the storm, and there would be these floating platforms, and it would just capture the flag. You would go into it, hold it,
Oh,
kill
doing the
enemies.
zones, bro.
Yeah.
That was literally the gameplay of some of the missions in the campaign. Was like
Mhm.
we need to hold this area,
Yeah.
capture the zones
And
here.
you would go around and do that, and then you go do another objective. Then you would kill a boss. You're done.
See, and this is why I'm worried for Suicide Squad, because Anthem is an example of a fucking great developer who makes really great single player games, working on
But
their first live
live
service
service,
multiplayer
exactly.
game. And what do we have with Rocksteady? A development
exact
team that made 3 fucking amazing single player games, who's working on
Mhm.
their first live service game. I don't
It's just
know. There's
the
also a
whole
chance that this game doesn't end up being live service, because there was
yes.
a rumor I saw that when Avengers failed, they basically stripped all of the live service elements from Gotham Knights and
Oh,
Suicide Squad.
okay. I
So
can't wait.
this portion might it might what's it called? Might be really irrelevant tomorrow. Talking about it being a live service when it's
I
not
can't wait to clip that and then play how Anthem's gonna be not Anthem, sorry, the Suicide Squad's gonna be a live
a
service
live
game.
service, and then it's just
Yeah,
not. It's just
yeah,
they just do 15 minutes of like a co-op shooter like regular
yeah,
game.
yeah. I hope.
That would
I
be
hope.
great. I would
That'd be
think
great.
that would be
That would be better.
fantastic.
It would be.
I wonder if they're even going to mention like a battle pass or any of the
Mm.
live service
They
stuff. I
wouldn't.
mean, it is 15 minutes of
If they are
gameplay. Like,
smart,
that's a lot.
if they are
Do you think it's
smart,
just going to be like a
they would.
mission? Like they're just
Yeah.
going to kind
I
of play it off as like a single like a co-op campaign?
Mm.
I hope.
I guarantee they
hope.
will say, but the game is still fantastic as a single player game. I guarantee they will, because I mean, they sort of have to.
Yes.
There's always those people that are like, can I play Destiny 2 solo? It's like,
No.
you could
Well, yes,
if
but
you
no.
yeah, you really could if you
Yeah.
wanted to. It's just like people who say, can I play Destiny for free? It's like,
Well,
you
yes, but no.
could,
Good
but
try, son.
wouldn't recommend it. Would not recommend that.
Maybe
Yeah, I
for
don't know.
20
It's gonna
hours.
be yeah, exactly. I mean, it
It's
depends on how much you want to do a strike for
yeah.
before you give up.
Isn't Suicide Squad also gonna be like a looter shooter? Isn't you get loot, right? Am I right about that?
I feel like that's rumored, but it's not confirmed.
It had gear score and like the
It did have gear score.
Well, I know Gotham Knights has gear score.
Yes.
Like,
how'd that work?
you open a chest and it's like, you've got better gauntlets,
Oh,
and then
Oh.
you just apply them. So it's just like it's
Strange.
how Hogwarts Legacy works.
okay.
Yeah.
You're there, yeah. It's like it's just you
I
you
think-
kind of open chests, you get a piece of gear that's better, but you can still like you can do like transmog on it.
Yeah.
I think
in Gotham Knights and Hogwarts.
I think the base idea of a gear score is actually kind of a good idea because it gives a person a very easy way to see that this armor is just better. You know what I mean? It's just a
Yes.
very easy way of doing that. You know what I mean? And
But
without adding
I think
extra bullshit.
it's sort of, when I think about progression in games, I think gear score is a lazy form of progression.
It is. That's what I said. It's an easy way.
agree.
You know what I mean? It's an easy way. It's not like a unique way by any means to actually get your character level up. It's the easy way to doing it.
It reminds me of like a method that people who design like gambling games would you because it's just like
100%.
here's a hit of serotonin. You know, like here's a
Number
hit.
go up.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Dopamine.
Yeah,
Just
exactly.
like,
Dopamine. Yeah, exactly. And I think that's and you know I'm into it because
you
like
love the
Destiny,
numbers.
I love the
Mhm.
numbers going up. Even when it's
Mhm.
just like even when it goes up 1 point, I'm like, oh, 1 point up.
This
I'm 1 point more powerful. I don't know what that actually means in gameplay, but the game's telling me I'm a little bit more strong.
Mhm. This was the one thing I was going to talk to you about, Jamie,
Mhm.
because we have had this conversation many times. And talking about
Yeah.
live service, you've always stated that you do not like cosmetics as a
No.
reward.
And it's just see if I mean, to be fair, I sort of meme it now. Like,
Yes.
because like Sea of Thieves it's all cosmetics, right? That's the whole progression. Well, I
That
mean,
is so.
to an
You can
extent,
go
you
to an
can become pirate legend, but
yeah.
it's to get pirate
They're
legend
just like
cosmetics.
titles, though, right?
So yeah. So
Yeah.
literally, at the end of all the grinding, it's literally for these all cosmetics, ship cosmetics, titles. You get marks on your skin. You get tattoos, clothes, uh,
Yeah, like,
new paint on your gun. It's all cosmetic. That's like it's because I think it's because it's very similar reason like how like Fortnite is all cosmetic. You know what I mean? It's because it's like the gameplay loop is
well,
kind of like
yes, but
the
no.
main. Yeah.
Like you are, I mean, you do have an account level on Fortnite. You do have a battle pass level, but
Mm.
that is ultimately unlocking cosmetics, I guess.
Yes, and it's the
Yeah,
same thing in Sea
And
of
you
Thieves.
can
You do
enjoy
have
Fortnite with like just the normal gameplay loop without even touching any of that. Like I do.
sure.
I like Fortnite and I
Yeah,
don't touch any of it.
true,
yeah,
true.
exactly.
I've never
Um,
bought a battle pass. I don't look at my level. I don't do any
You don't want
challenges.
to
I
support the
just
big
play the
guys.
game.
Yeah,
you don't want to support the
you
big
don't want to
guys.
support the big guys.
Um,
Fair enough. You
but
support
I can,
Valve, the small guy.
but I can see to an extent why. I also agree that I think if the game only form of progression is cosmetics, it's not a good idea. You know what I mean? Unless the gameplay
Yeah.
loop is banger, like it
And
doesn't work.
Sea of Thieves is like like the
Yeah.
missions aren't that fun. Like the
Yeah,
story, the what are the story kind of arcs you
tall
can do?
tales, tall
Tales.
tales,
The
tall
tall
tales.
Yeah.
tales, they're fun. I actually
Yes.
like those a lot. But the problem with
Mhm.
the tall tales is that I feel like you don't progress towards pirate legend doing those, right?
No, you do. You do. Well, at least the later
You
ones, you do quite a lot.
okay.
Yes. Um,
But what
the
does it unlock? Because it doesn't help you get stuff for the found like the three
it
factions, does it?
does. It
Oh, it
does.
does. Yeah. Okay.
So the later ones do. So like the big one is the Golden Shores, right? You
Yeah.
basically go
Isn't it the
off the
first one?
map. No, no, that's the last one. That is the very
Okay.
last one. So the
Oh
Golden
yeah,
Shores,
Golden Shore. Yeah, sorry, I was thinking of the Golden Idol. That's the first
yes,
one. You
the
go
Golden
and do
Idol.
that.
Yeah.
That's a fun. That first tall tale you do is that was really
Mhm.
fun. I really enjoyed that.
There's a lot of really good tall tales in Sea of Thieves, and the last one you do, you basically go off the map to a completely different zone,
Hmm.
to a completely different map. Oh,
That's
that's
cool.
really difficult. And you go get a skull that
Mhm.
literally can only be attained here, and you just get stacked off of it. It gives you so much money. It's very similar to like a
Yeah.
very, very end game chest and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Right. Okay.
And yeah, it's stuff like that's really cool. I do agree with you. Where like, for example, the Pirates Life Sea of Thieves crossover was sick.
Yeah.
That was awesome. That was
Well, yeah.
no. I thought it
Pirates of
was
the Caribbean stuff.
yeah. There was at some moments like I would say episode 3 and episode 4 they were boring.
The problem was it was buggy. Like
Yeah,
Yeah,
when
we
you
Nathan and
actually
I
got
tried
soft
it on the
locked.
first night, we
you
got
guys.
soft locked, and like it was like that one mission where you're in that cave where you got to fight the giant kraken.
Yes,
I guess
yes, it's a Kraken.
it's like a roller coaster where you
Mhm.
got to wait in line to then
Yeah.
enter the area. If
Yeah.
someone's there already, you got to wait for them to
Mhm.
Yeah, there were
finish
two
it.
people like
It's
yelling at us from the cave, like, "How do
Yeah.
we get in?"
Yeah, it was
yeah. There's
so odd, man.
I
It
did
was like it
hear
was super like I was like waiting in a queue. But it was like yeah, it was so strange.
it was very buggy. When Shadow and I did it, it was not buggy at all. It was
Yeah.
fine. So like I can understand like day one it was, but when we played it, it was fine. There was
I'm
some
pretty sure
boring
we played it
missions.
like the first week or something.
We did. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was I think it was the night it came out.
Yeah, it may have been.
Yeah.
Shadow and I played like 6 months into it. We played like 6 months into it.
Yeah,
So like
it was fine.
yeah. Shadow and I really enjoyed it. We thought, well, we Shadow and I enjoyed the loop of Sea of Thieves. That's the thing. So like
Yeah.
that's why I wanted to ask you guys about the whole cosmetic thing because like we're fine with that because we enjoy the loop of Sea of Thieves. But as people that don't enjoy a gameplay loop, I imagine cosmetics is not a satisfying enough thing to
No.
get.
I think the
I
gameplay
think
loop's just a little too simple. I feel like there needs to be just some more substance because I really like the idea of it and I
Mhm.
have a lot of fun in it, but I just want something more than just going a place, getting a chest, getting a skull, selling it,
Mhm.
doing a thing, giving something to someone. I just want, something a little more substantial than just going to a place and getting a thing.
That is understandable.
Well, Nathan,
It
do I have a game for you? It's called Skull and Bones, coming out from
Yeah.
Ubisoft
Ooh.
later in 2024.
Oh
Yeah,
shit.
yeah. Well, I remember that
Please be excited.
they were like Feb 2023 to early 2024.
That had to be a mistype.
It must have been a
Surely.
mistype. It was so
Um,
funny.
but I mean, looping in like the Sea of Thieves conversation with like Suicide Squad, I do think some of the content drops that Sea of Thieves does is really cool.
Yes,
Like
100%.
that Pirates of the Caribbean thing, even if I didn't necessarily enjoy it as much as I thought I would, it was still a cool,
Yeah.
crossover
the
thing,
experience. Yeah.
and it got Nathan and I playing the game that we hadn't played in ages.
Mhm,
So like I
mhm.
wonder if Suicide Squad will have content like that where it's actual story missions after the main campaign where they're like, hey, you drop in on, whatever, May 15th and we're dropping a new episode or there's like a new
Yeah.
DC hero that's been corrupted by Brainiac or whatever. I don't know.
That
Like
is
something like that. It'd be
I
cool.
can see
Like
that.
I think that would be like here's the thing, right? Is like Avengers, the concept of Marvel's Avengers is cool.
it is.
It's just I don't think
execution.
they had the time to make
Yes.
it properly. And I don't think they had the live service expertise to make it. Like Crystal Dynamics, once again, it's a single player developer doing Tomb Raider, then
Yeah.
going into a live service game. It's like, it just,
Doesn't work.
I think you just need a certain, it's not a certain caliber of developer, but a certain skill set to make a game like
That's
that.
exactly it. Like, it's
Where like the
specialization.
transition,
It's
sorry, you go.
I was gonna say it's specialization, right?
Yeah.
It is. It's specialization to do it. That's all I was gonna say. So you go on, but it is. It's just that.
And I just think like when I think about Bungie doing it, like they really planned it. Like, they were
Yeah.
like there's a hint at Destiny in Halo 3 ODST.
Really?
Yeah. There's a like an advertisement of like Earth
Oh,
and then the Traveler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's
That's
like
right.
it's something about fulfill your destiny or something.
Mhm.
So
Well,
like
like,
they were
if you
teasing and that was ODST was 2009.
Wow.
if
So like yeah, 5 years before Destiny came out.
if you take a look at like everything that's happened in the original concept of our Destiny, you saw the pyramid ships, and we only saw the pyramid ships in what Destiny 2, right?
I
Red
do
War Destiny.
wonder if do you think they had the idea that the darkness was going to be the pyramid ships?
I
Or
think
do you think it was like someone came up with they had this concept art that they made ages ago of like we're trying to figure out like how we want the aesthetic of this world to be, and then they sort of like saw people saying, well, the pyramid ships like
yeah.
well actually no,
I
to be fair, in the Destiny 1 cinematic, they do showcase. Don't they show the darkness as? No, they don't. It's the
No, it's
swirly
Destiny
things.
2.
They do
It's
the
Destiny
swirly
2.
things. Destiny
Yeah.
2 was the pyramid, the angular like triangle
It was.
shape for the darkness. Okay, I
The
take it back. Actually,
it
it was there was an end cutscene in Destiny in the campaign, right?
Destiny 2.
Yeah, when the Traveler wakes
Red
up,
Yeah, when
and
Red
then
War,
it. Yeah, okay. I take it
Mhm.
back. I take it
The
back. I think
the
they were planning it.
I think that the pyramid ships weren't going to be as big as they are now. I don't think they were,
Mm.
but I think that they definitely had the idea of pyramid ships being like the big bad with darkness. You know what I mean? I didn't think they were going to have pyramid ships be the darkness, but probably like the big bad of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Um.
I'm
So,
so excited for Life 4 next week.
oh yeah, it's
I'm so
and
fun. And
this is you go, and I'll
I
quickly
was gonna
explain my
say, like, I think Destiny, and I'm gonna talk about it in the cinematic that happened last week. That is, we played the finale for Season of the Seraph. I
Mhm.
think Bungie have cracked the live service egg,
this
and they've figured it out
this is the
in a
thing
way
for
that
me.
I don't think any other developer except for Epic with Fortnite has.
Exactly. This is the thing for me. And this
Mhm.
is like, if you want to have a good live service, you need to have something that keeps pulling players back in.
Building.
Something that builds it back in. And one thing that Fortnite and Destiny 2 do amazing is in-game events. Stuff
Yeah.
where you get to pull the story yourself, you see the event live, like yourself, you see it in
Well,
game. You know what I mean?
Destiny's only done that once, to be fair.
No, they've done it twice, but like,
They
so
have
this is
done
what
it
I mean.
twice. You're right.
So that's what I mean. So they've done that twice. Fortnite do it more, but Destiny also do it where you do the story every
Sure.
week for the seasonal
Yeah.
event, and then you see
Yeah,
the big
that's true.
cutscene, which is usually a pretty big thing, right? And that's the thing is that they do that, and it gets you back into it. Like I I am burnt out on Destiny. I don't like it that much. But when I saw that Lightfall cutscene, I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna play it again. Like, you just
Dude,
know,
yeah,
like, you
Lightfall
just
looks so good, man.
know, right? It just, yeah, we can talk about that when we get
Yeah,
to
we'll talk
that.
about
But
that more later. But I really do think in terms of a constant stream of content that's not just filler, but is like high quality.
high quality, yeah,
And I do think the story content that they produce in the seasons is high quality. Like I think
yeah,
it some of the storylines are both important to the wider Destiny story,
mhm,
but also like push the story forward. Like I wonder how many people if people go from Witch Queen campaign, like Nathan would if he plays Lightfall, go from the Witch Queen campaign, skipping the seasonal story stuff, going straight to Lightfall. I
would
wonder how
understand.
much would they understand.
Mhm,
And like I've listened to other podcasts where people they jumped into Destiny for the first time with Witch Queen, and
yeah,
they were like, "Who's
what is going on?
Zavathun? Why is she a bitch?
Yeah,
Why do we have to kill her?" Like
mhm,
it just wasn't explained. But because we had been hearing about Zavathun for so long, we had the
yeah,
season previous about capturing her, and then we had those dialogue moments with her. We sort of got
mhm,
to learn more about her through a season before the
yeah,
expansion.
mhm,
So I think that's something that Destiny can work on, but I don't know
yeah.
how you sort of do that where you have meaningful seasonal content, but also you allow people who can jump in and out to follow the story well,
On the contrary, I actually do really like the feeling of I was there when this happened, right? Someone can look it up on YouTube and see the
FOMO
story and
lover.
that.
We
Yes,
love
and
FOMO.
no, but
I
like
mean, that's true. No,
for
I
example,
agree.
one example of this
Mhm.
is when the Whisper mission dropped. It was random. We
Sure.
found it, right? But when you were there and you did that
That was
on
so
day
fun.
one, it was this just
The moment.
experience. It was a moment, right? And that's what I think Fortnite and Destiny do well is that they have those moments where you were there when this happened. You know what I
100%.
meit
No, you're
And that's
right. 100%
that's what it
true.
does really well. That's what
But
they
I
do really
think you
well.
can still have those you were there moments
Oh,
while
it still
also
happens.
allowing the story to make
Oh,
sense to people who are just
yeah,
kind of jumping
100%.
in. I
100%.
think they just need to like they have that, the node
The
in the
recap?
the where you can sort of like click on it and go through the seasons, but I,
Yeah.
I don't think it's enough.
It's not detailed enough. It
Um,
has a very base rundown, but it's not detailed enough.
I sort of think they need like a kind of a full-on recap cutscene. And I
Just
would actually kind of expect that from Lightfall when we go in on launch day.
mhm,
I think there probably will be like a cutscene that's like, here is the story of Destiny from,
yeah.
like a quick, obviously maybe like a smallish cutscene, but something that brings the people up to speed.
No, no, no. Balls to the wall, get by, 8-hour cutscene right there, explain
Oh, but
everything.
yeah, do the lost shit.
Yeah, 8-hour cutscene right there. That's what they do.
I mean, the thing is, like, when they revealed Lightfall, there was like a 10-minute cutscene of a
Yeah,
recap.
it
And I'm like,
was.
put that in the game.
Yeah,
Like,
like
that should be
I
that
we
like if you're a new
people
light, that should be something you see immediately as
this
like
thing
an intro into the game.
yeah,
Like,
and, like, people would watch that. Like, I would watch that. I would watch a 10-minute cutscene just explaining
oh
everything.
yeah, I
Just
mean,
I
people
would
who are
watch
like
it.
who are star-eyed getting into Destiny, they want to get back into it.
Yeah,
Like
exactly, like
Nathan could have benefited from that when he
yeah, to
joined, like
understand what the
having
hell's
like
going
some
on.
kind of recap to show what he's missed. Like,
Yeah, I'd
Yeah,
watch it. Yeah.
yeah, that's the thing.
sure. I
Um,
mean, I guess 10 minutes is long, but I don't know. Even if it wasn't like a mandatory thing, but it was something that was in the menu that you could click on,
Yeah.
yeah,
be like,
exactly.
hey, you can jump right in the game, or you
It
can
pops up.
watch, you can get you caught up with
Yeah.
what's happening in
Yeah,
the story.
exactly.
Um, but yeah, I really do think Destiny's like nailing it. As
Yeah.
someone who is playing week to week, season to season,
Even
um,
as someone who gets burnt out, stops playing for 6 months and comes back, they're nailing it. Destiny is
sure.
still one of the best live service games ever. I you can say that. Like,
I actually think like Destiny right now reminds me of like leading up to Endgame in the MCU.
oh,
Where it's
100%.
like you've got all these characters that you've gotten to know over these seasons, over these expansions, over this, since 2014.
Mhm.
And sort of seeing it come to a head
Yeah.
is like fucking cool to be here and
The
experiencing it. And it sucks because like I feel like people who if they just jump in on Lightfall on day one, they're gonna be like not really getting it, right?
Mhm.
Because they haven't been there.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
I'm not sure if that's necessarily a problem that they can solve easily.
It won't be.
I
That's
think
the
their
issue.
best bet
It
is to just be like, "Hey, this is the end of the Light and Darkness saga, but
mhm.
what's next? This is a
It's
perfect
big.
jumping on point, new saga, new destinations, whatever they
Yeah.
do eventually."
I think yeah, and I think it's because we have the memories of doing everything, you know, and like
Sure.
in D1 doing like Crow's End, King's Fall, like day one and stuff like that, going in and doing like the Destiny 2 campaign, like going through all like the
I
annoyances,
streamed 17
rage.
hours of Destiny 2 on day one.
Yeah, exactly.
I
All the
played a
rage,
fuckload of Destiny 2 on PS4, dude. I was
like
playing at 30 FPS. That was my dedication. And then I
yeah,
actually played. Oh man, I was so
yep,
dumb because then like a month later it was out on PC and I did it all again.
yeah, exactly.
Is that before the save transfers?
Yeah, no, there were no save transfers. So I
On day
have
one.
I have 120 hours on the PS4 version of Destiny 2 at the moment.
That are just like not
It's
a
actually
thing.
gone because when I did the save transfer to my
Yeah.
place, like I transferred it over to Xbox and PlayStation in case I
Yeah.
happen to play on console. So that character's gone.
Wiped.
You
Yeah.
want
Those PS4 characters, they are deleted.
on Xbox? I had over 800 before I went to PC. 800 hours
Jesus.
before I went to
Christ.
PC, and then yeah, went to PC. Went to PC.
There goes those characters. They're dead.
Yeah, that character's dead.
Dead
I'm
and
fine.
gone.
I'm fine with it. But like, yeah, and you have all the different experiences of going through all the stories and like all the friends you meet along the way and stuff like that as well. Like Jamie, I met you literally through Destiny and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
exactly. Yeah,
Like,
that's true.
like you, like all these different people. It's finally coming to this end, and it's kind of like you're recapping in your head all these different memories and whatnot by doing the story. That's what it is, right? That's what it's really cool.
Now, do you think Rocksteady is trying to do that with Suicide Squad? I'm trying to bring it back because I feel like we went off the rails a little bit there, but
one
like,
thing about this is I love that we keep going these tangents and then just swings back quickly.
but it sort of does feed into like,
It
you know,
does,
if
but
Suicide Squad ends up being a live service
if it-
game, do we
if-
see this game like
it
living for
grows big
10 years? Like,
if it grows big enough,
Something
I
like-
don't see it living for 10 years, anything like that. But I definitely do see them doing a story that can be something similar to that. Because the
Sure.
DC universe is huge, right? There are so many
and
things you
feels
can
like
do.
there's a lot of untapped potential that they keep fucking
Yes.
up in the movies.
Yes. So they can definitely
Please
do
Start
God.
it again.
The thing
Yeah.
is that if this game blows up, they could do spin-off games. You know, like they could do spin-off games that
Oh
potentially
my
could
god!
be good.
You know what?
But you know
I
what?
hate this. I hate the idea of this. The problem with Suicide Squad, right? That I feel, and it's
Yeah.
not even from like a potential live service angle. It's the fact that I think it would be cooler if you could play as the Justice League. like,
Yeah, I
like you
understand.
you have a game set in the Arkham universe that carries on after Arkham Knight, and you
Wait.
have
It is?
yes,
Oh no.
it is a sequel to Arkham Knight.
I didn't
So
know
the
that.
Batman who's been taken over by Brainiac in in that trailer that was at the Game Awards,
Yeah?
that is the Batman from the Arkham series.
Wait, but oh, that's gonna
He
answer the
died,
question.
but he didn't.
Yeah, no,
you
he
gotta
died.
do, you got to play the 100% ending.
I did do
where it's
100%,
like,
but I thought no,
the
no, but
100% ending, it
yeah,
leaves
he
it way
goes, like,
open that he's definitely not dead.
yeah, no, because he does this whole scarecrow bullshit. That's right.
Yeah,
He does the
exactly,
whole
exactly.
yeah.
Yeah, the Nightfall ending, right? That's what it was
Nightfall
called.
ending,
Yeah,
yeah.
100% or whatever. I actually didn't get the ending. I watched it on YouTube because I'm not a
Mhm.
fucking geek going through all
Mhm.
those Riddler trophies. But yeah, it would have been way cooler if it was like we're doing a sequel to Batman Arkham Knight. We have the fucking Justice League. They're here.
Mm.
But instead, we're fucking fighting them and killing them. It's
Mhm.
like, what?
Mhm.
That's the
Mhm.
choice? That's the decision?
Yeah.
And
It's not a good
I do wonder if it's because they were like, we can't make a superhero live service game. We need to make it a third person shooter live service game. And we can't have Superman running around with a gun unless
yeah.
it's Fortnite. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's just it seems like a missed opportunity a little bit.
Yeah, it is. So at the end of all this, Rocksteady, just make it Justice League instead. That's all this came down to.
Just scrap the project now.
Yeah,
And
just
to
make
be
it
fair,
Justice
like I'm down to play this game. I think it'd be fun to play a co-op, third person shooter co-op game with the boys.
Mhm.
It'd be great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it'd be fun no matter what.
But
100%.
yeah, just imagine if it was like Luke is Wonder Woman and Seto's Superman and I'm Green
Yeah.
Lantern and Nathan's Batman. It's like, fuck yeah, dude.
could
If
be
we were
cool.
all the Justice League,
It could be really cool.
it could have been so fucking cool, man.
Yeah. It could
But
be
then
really cool.
also I'm like, well, that's sort of Marvel's Avengers, isn't it? It could have been like
Yeah, that's the thing.
Ben's Captain America,
Yeah.
Shadow's Hulk, I'm fucking whoever the fuck, Captain Marvel, and then Nathan's fucking I don't
Iron
know,
Man.
Iron
Like,
Man, yeah.
Yeah. No, I get it. I
It
get
had its moments for like
It
a
did.
minute.
Mhm.
Dude,
It did.
doing the beta for Avengers with
Oh,
Hulk
dude.
in the
T-posing.
air, T-posing, jumping. Oh my god,
That was funny.
that still cracks
Oh.
me up. Yeah.
It's Yeah, look, I think I have to wait and see. We just went on an hour tangent about how we are saying all
Okay.
that,
One
but
more thing.
yeah.
Just we'll do one prediction. Do you think Suicide Squad will be a live service game, or will it just be a game that's just complete when it comes out in May, with like gear score and a battle pass?
Yeah, I think the latter.
I think
Yeah.
latter.
Okay.
I don't think they're
it'll
going
be
to
live
commit to
service?
that.
You don't think they're gonna
No,
do
I
like
think
seasonal
after
content?
Avengers, I think they're too scared after Avengers.
Okay. Another question. Do you think it's gonna be like Avengers where you have a battle pass per character?
No, I don't think so.
Avengers.
I don't think so.
Please.
I don't think they'll do it.
There were 10 battle passes.
What the
I don't
fuck?
think they'll do it.
For all the
I don't think they'll do it.
characters. And so, like, if you wanted the cool cosmetics, you had to grind the character for like 100 hours to get everything.
hmm
Yeah, don't do that, Rocksteady.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah, I'm
we
sort of
went
in the
this
same
whole
boat where I just
time
think
without mentioning the Division.
I
That's true.
was
Not
also a
once.
third-person shooter.
I was
It also
going
really
to-
like it fits in with like what Suicide Squad's doing. But
Yeah.
I was going to bring up the Division, but I think that when we start talking about Destiny and Fortnite, it kind of
They just
brought the
do it better.
reason why.
Yeah.
It just kind of brought the reason why we talked about all the things that were good. I was like, I don't want to bring up everything that was bad about the Division because we basically just stated it
Yeah,
anyway.
same
So,
reasons.
yeah,
I like the
exactly.
Division. It was good.
me too.
I did really enjoy the universe of the Division,
Yeah,
but I
it's mostly that.
hated the grinding. I hated
Yeah.
the grinding.
Missed opportunity. I think a lot of missed opportunities.
Yeah.
Did you see that they're not? There's a rumor that they're not planning on doing a Division 3. Division
there
2's
you
it.
go.
That's it.
That's understandable because Division 2 did not do well after.
But you say that, but it keeps getting seasons.
It does?
Wait, is it still going?
They're on season 12 or some shit, or season
No,
11.
No.
It's still getting seasons.
Division 2.
So like, I don't understand how the game's obviously doing well enough that they're still making seasonal content,
Season 11?
but they're not. It's not enough to warrant making another game. I don't know, man. It's so weird.
Weird.
Ubisoft's fucking being weird, dude.
2 weeks
So
ago.
weird, dude.
Two
fucking-
weeks ago, the Division 2 devs encountered a bug so bad they currently cannot update the game. And apparently it's literally a bug. that's
yeah.
caused
I
them from
saw
updating
that.
the game.
Yeah, they're gonna postpone season 11 because we actually can't push it.
Yeah, they couldn't actually update it.
There's a real bad bug.
Um,
But yeah, I mean, I don't even know where we landed on live service games. we
look,
sort of went through what I wanted to talk about: the
Yeah.
the good aspects, the bad aspects,
yeah,
the good
yeah,
live
just-
service games, the bad live service games. What Suicide Squad can learn from them.
Yeah, just
I think we fucking nailed that.
Yeah,
Just over an hour.
Rocksteady.
It's fine.
just
Rocksteady, just don't do a live
don't
service
fuck up.
game.
Yeah, just don't do it. I think that's what you came down to. Just don't do it. There's
But
only 2 games that
it
do
might be
it.
a little too late for that, considering they're doing their full-on reveal tomorrow. And
Yeah,
It's
no.
already
What
out
they're gonna
now,
do is the reveal is just gonna be. Sorry, guys, we listened to the 21st Hour podcast last night. They told us not to do it. We're not gonna do it.
you know what?
Hold.
I just thought of a really bad example of a live service game, Halo Infinite.
That's a
Halo
fantastic point of like a
Holy
really
shit! But that's
bad
too
one,
sad
yeah.
to bring up, you know.
Oh,
That's
hell
true.
no.
I remember JB 0.7 hours into it. Halo is back.
Don't talk about that Steam review. I gotta delete that review. I was like,
Get rid of that.
Halo is back. I mean,
Yeah.
it was back, and then it wasn't because
and then it wasn't.
there was not enough content. See, it's all about
Exactly.
content. It really is all about
Exactly.
content.
It was a good campaign though.
It was a really good campaign.
Good
was a
Halo
good
campaign.
Too bad they've cancelled all the single player DLC that they were planning to do for Halo Infinite.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
Good. You know, we still got to
Um,
play that as like a co-op thing.
co-op, yeah, we do.
Bro, why don't they just launch that game with co-op? Come on, man.
Yeah, it would have been so much easier, you know. I had to play that shit on my it was fucking ran like shit on my old PC, so I had to play that on the Xbox Series X at controller. Awful.
At 4K 60.
It was 4K 60. It's not actual 4K, you know.
Yeah,
It's probably
yeah,
like
it's
closer to somewhere between 1080 and 1440. Anyway, that's the discussion. You know,
Yeah.
we talked, we spoke.
Yeah, we did. Games. Okay, what we've been
Games.
playing this week. I think this is actually important.
Who's starting?
I'm actually gonna give it to Nathan. I'm gonna give it to
Okay,
Nathan.
good.
Finally, we can
Because
talk about some good games. Am I
Yeah.
right?
Talk about some
Yeah.
games that don't
You-
require FOMO, no battle passes.
Yeah,
Just
you've
good
played
old
this a lot.
fashioned a Nintendo game design.
you've been playing this a lot.
I'm going
And
to
I'm
tell.
actually genuinely interested in what this game is like. So Nathan, explain to us what you've been playing this week.
This week, well, not this week. I mean, the last. I kind of just included the last 2
that's
weeks.
Alright, that's
Yeah,
alright,
yeah.
that's fine. I mean,
been on
fucking
holidays.
Luca spoke about a game he's been playing since December. Like, don't worry. About
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
Well, I've been playing the Metroid Prime Remaster.
Ooh,
Um,
spicy.
I've played the game like probably 5 times total now.
I was gonna say this is definitely not new for you.
Yeah, I pretty much know the whole thing back to front by
Yeah.
now. There's nothing like that kind of surprises me now. Yeah, I think it's a really good remaster from I think I played the game like a year ago.
Mhm.
The normal game just legally acquired for sure.
Yeah.
It looks really good.
Mhm.
I think it's definitely a lot better than the original in terms of graphics, and that new
Oh
dual
yeah.
stick control scheme is like really well done. It's not a half-ass thing, and I think it finally makes the game feel modern. So if you haven't played it, I think it's a really good starting point to finally get into it because it's not.
I've bought it.
Yeah, good. Because
It's on the backlog. I'm ready.
yeah, previously you were only using one control stick to move and look, so it was like forward and back, and then looking side to side.
Yeah, how that's weird. That's
The other
really,
stick
really
you were
odd.
using to switch beams.
Right.
For reference, this is the final boss of the game.
Spoilers.
Spoilers.
It's been out for God knows how
Oh,
long.
now I know that I've got to fight Metroid Prime in Metroid Prime. Like,
Yeah, bro. What is this? I'm gonna find a giant crab. What
that's
the hell?
okay. I'll forget about this by the time I
Yeah.
get to it.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it took me 10 hours this time, which
Okay.
isn't by any means fast.
What do you think
but
a first playthrough would be for like a little newbie like me?
probably 2 or 3 hours longer, I would say. I think give it a little bit of time to get stuck, but the game
Sure.
does, if you've been stuck for a while, it'll give you a hint. So
Oh, that's
probably
good.
like
That was
20
nice.
minutes, half an hour of you faffing about, it'll be like, just go
Yeah.
here.
Does Metroid Prime do what Metroid Dread does, where it's like you need to find the random wall that you need to break open?
Yes and no.
Okay.
It's I'm not sure how Dread does it, but the scan tool works quite well in Prime. They have a scan tool in Dread.
Well, if there was a scan tool, I didn't use it,
Anyway,
so maybe that was the issue.
yeah, you basically you can just walk around with the scan tool open and just find shit to scan, and
Okay,
it'll
that's not
like
too bad then.
show up like walls that you can break will show up unless
Mhm.
it's a really secret thing. But there are a couple of secrets that they aren't very secret. There's like artifacts you have to find.
Sure.
And they're written in pretty plain English where you should find them and what you have to look for. So it's not like a big challenge.
Are the artifacts like collectibles or?
No, that you have to get them to get to the final boss.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
you should find like 5 of them naturally, and then the other ones you may have to look for. But anyway, yeah, I think that it's a really good remaster. I played the majority of it in handheld and then
Mhm.
finished it off when I got home on the TV. It's one of the rare games that actually runs better on the TV than it does in handheld mode.
Does it look good on it? Because obviously you've got
Yeah.
a 4K TV. Does it look okay on a 4K TV?
Yeah, it looks really good. Yeah,
Okay.
for sure.
I'm gonna play it that way then.
Surprisingly. And yeah, it gave me the urge to play the other two. I started on Prime 2 Echoes. I'm probably like 6 hours into that, but I'll talk about that
Nice.
when I finish it next week.
Cool. Hell yeah.
Um,
I'm so stoked to play this game.
a little sad they didn't do a full trilogy remaster.
Well,
But
it does
it'd
leave
probably
it does leave that
happen.
open. Like I don't know. I don't necessarily think that that's something that will never happen.
There are
Like doing 2 and 3.
rumors that they're going to
It'll-
do like releases just with the updated control scheme, but not like full graphical remasters like this one. But no solid
Okay.
in stone anything.
I
So
got to be
I thought
honest.
I'd
Like
just
they
do it.
called this a remaster, but this honestly looks more like a remake in terms
Yeah.
of visuals. Like I
It's
know,
pretty
like
good.
Like I think it's called a remaster because they probably just used the old, like
Yeah.
what code existed, and they just put a new coat of paint over it.
Yeah.
But it
Yeah,
really
exactly.
is like I could see any other developer or publisher saying this is a remake, even
Yeah.
if it's because it really does look like I've seen like comparison shots. Because obviously seeing the trailer, I was like, oh, that looks really good. But then seeing it compared to even the
In
Wii
movement,
version of
it's
Metro Prime, it's
insane.
like,
Yeah.
holy shit, it's so much better looking.
Going
Like,
back
it's
to Metroid
really-
Prime 2, it's like which looks exactly the same as 1. It's like
Yeah,
ugh.
right. It's like, yeah, it looks really, really bad
Yeah.
in comparison. Yeah, no, it looks great. I can't wait to play this.
Yeah.
I was
I have,
super
like-
hyped when they announced it.
My only gripe, which is not even like a gripe with the control scheme, is that you've got to stop moving in order to switch beams because you got to hold down a button and then use the stick to
interesting.
switch beams.
Okay,
But-
that's a little annoying, but
There's just not enough buttons on the controller on any
Yeah,
controller
right.
to do that. So it's just how
did
it
you
is.
see someone got a mouse and keyboard working for Metro Prime Remastered?
It's interesting.
They're emulating it, and yeah, they
Oh
got.
yeah,
Apparently, the input lag is really like unbearably. You
I can
can't-
imagine.
Yeah,
because
it's-
it was real bad. I emulated the new Pokemon game on Switch and it was pretty terribly input laggy, but it's Pokemon, so it
Yeah,
doesn't matter.
the way they did it is they basically used the gyro to simulated the mouse with gyro.
That's what I'm doing with Prime 2 and 3.
with Prime
yeah.
2, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just emulating like the Wii gyroscope movement.
Right, but with the mouse. That's actually, yeah,
with-
that's
with,
cool.
like one of the sticks. it's janky and it really doesn't work as well as this remaster, but it exists.
I think this game is going to sell really well, and it's going to prompt them to do 2 and 3.
100%.
I hope they do.
I think the reason they didn't do the trilogy is because they want to release these as all like three $60 releases.
Yeah,
I absolutely agree. Yeah.
Like I think that is honestly why, and you know maybe the 2 and 3 might, as you said, it might just be the controls shifting, but not graphically, changing it. But that's fine though, as long as it just
totally
as long
fine
as
with
it,
that.
like I think as long as it plays
Yeah.
well and it's on Switch, I can actually like easily play it. Like that's all that matters.
Yeah, bro, emulating is giving me pains.
Yeah, right.
It doesn't work half the time and I have to restart shit.
Yeah, that sounds like. See, I don't know if I'm that dedicated to do that.
Yeah.
So that's
It's
why I
just-
think I would love them to be, even just do GameCube like Nintendo Online. Do that.
Yeah.
Where's that?
Yeah, they won't do that because they could sell these for $60.
Yeah, that's the issue.
Yeah.
Although did you see that there's a Pokemon conference next week?
Oh, this could be
Interesting.
big.
Red and blue, 100%.
Interesting.
Yeah, this
Very
could be
good.
big.
I think that's a guarantee that it's going to be. They saved Pokemon Red and Blue on Nintendo Online for this for the Pokemon thing.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming they'll do like the DLC for. I'll talk about the DLC for. What was it? Violet and. Is that what the recent ones were?
Yeah, Scarlet and Violet, I think.
Scarlet and
yeah.
Violet. Yeah.
Violet.
But yeah. Anyway, back to Metro Prime. Super stoked to play this. It looks great.
It's real fun.
And it's good to know that I can play it on the TV and it not look like
Dog water.
dishwater. Dog water. Yeah, that's good. That's funny.
I really took my time at this time. And so I guess my only piece of advice for this is to really do take your time with the scan tool. You basically go around and like scan absolutely everything you can. You don't have to read everything about like every creature, but I think if you're reading like a scan from like a computer or like a screen or anything like that, I can go to the effort to read it, or like dead bodies and stuff like that. It really adds to the ambience of what you actually get out of the game.
Hell yeah.
And makes the game make sense. I know it's like kind of old school gaming, like you're reading lore while you go, but it does
fine.
It does make it.
So many games do that now, even now still.
Yeah.
Where like a lot of the cool lore is actually in a game that I'll talk about later. It's a similar situation.
Yeah. And there's some fun, like cool little lines, like the space pirates will write like funny things here and there, and it's like about feeding Metroids and stuff like that. Yeah.
I was gonna say, I wonder if they didn't remaster 2 and 3 because Metro Prime 4 is gonna be like almost like a Halloween situation where they're like, wait, getting 2 and 3 didn't exist. It's just Metro Prime 1, and then it's a sequel to Metro Prime 1. Do you think 4 might end up being that? Do you think it'll be called Metro Prime 4? I know they anned it as
2 is a direct sequel to 1.
Well, so was Halloween 2 to 1, so there is that.
Oh.
So you could just be like, they don't count.
Because
I don't know.
2 initiates Dark Samus, which is you'll see it, like we won't see it, but at the end of this boss fight, Metroid Prime's ghost here rips the suit off of Samus, which is a highly radioactive phase-on suit, and that basically creates Dark Samus.
Okay.
And that's who who you're following and fighting throughout the second game.
Okay, yeah, so it sort of is a direct.
Yeah.
I wonder, because like I could see them doing that, being like, I mean, even though they announced it as Metro Prime 4, I guess that kind of ruins it. If they just announce a new Metroid Prime, it'd be different. But it kind of sucks. Like if Metro Prime 4 comes out and on Switch you can play Metro Prime 1 and then 4, you're missing sort of like 2 chunks there. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I wonder. But who knows how far Metro Prime 4 is away? Like,
please just release it. I want it.
Yeah, I don't know about. I feel like it's going to be a whatever the successor to the Switch is. That'll be like a launch game.
Yeah,
that's what I think. But it runs well on Switch.
Oh, yeah, no, it runs really well. It's
awesome.
Perfect 60. I never saw it drop. So
hell yeah.
Yeah. Do you want me to talk about my next game, or do you want
next
someone
game.
else?
Yeah.
All right, let's load it up. Another cool Nintendo game. Kirby and the Forgotten Land.
You've been on a Nintendo kick.
Yeah, because I had my Switch with me too. Yeah, it's really fun. I had played like probably 2 hours of it before I went on the trip, and then I started playing it a bit more. It's like shockingly quite good. I don't know why I didn't. I don't know. I kind of expected it to be like really surface level, like a 2D Mario platformer, or kind of like 3D World, where you just, it's real surface level. You just play the game and have some fun.
Yeah.
but it's actually surprisingly in depth. Like the levels have a surprising amount of like things to find and like stuff to do, and like there's little avenues here and there,
This looks
um,
great, like the gameplay on
It
screen.
does.
and it looks really good. Yeah,
Yeah, like visually. Is it
Yeah.
another game that runs well on Switch?
yeah. No, I've never seen it drop or anything.
Yeah.
So TV and
That's
handheld.
I feel like Nintendo first party just kind of
Yeah,
all
it
those
slaps, man.
games kind of they slap, except for Pokemon. But once again is not technically first party.
Yeah. And
yes,
with this game specifically, the stuff that Kirby can turn into, and like I won't spoil it because if you haven't played it and you wanna actually play it, but like he turns into some really cool stuff, and like the things you can do while he's turned into
I
those
have
things,
seen a
like
few of the things you can turn into.
yeah, like Kirby and stuff like that.
Kirby, the
Yeah.
vending machine, the
Yeah.
stairs.
Yeah,
Have
there's
you-
surprisingly
Is there a
quite
lot?
few.
Like, because I feel like I know like 6 of them, but like, is there?
I just came across a new one that I hadn't seen.
Oh, really?
So
Oh,
yeah,
damn, nice.
Have you done?
I'm only in the
Final
third
Fight?
world.
Have you
What'd
done
you
the? Oh, you haven't done to. You haven't finished the game yet.
No, not
Okay.
at all.
How far in do you think you are? Is it?
Yeah, so 3 worlds. Usually Nintendo to do 8. So
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. So it's quite a bit to go. And how
Yeah.
far into it are you? How many hours?
or 5.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, that's a pretty decently sized game. Yeah. Cool.
yeah, it's a good chunk.
Yeah. I'm definitely gonna play this game.
It's definitely
Yeah.
not like a change your life game or anything, but it's very well made and it's pretty fun.
I have heard that the ending is fucking crazy. So
I-
I don't even know. I
so-
can't even
so-
imagine what it is, but I've heard people say specifically about the ending of this game being fucking awesome. Like I have no idea what it is though.
I have talked about
No
it with Luca.
spoilers.
I'm not going to spoil it. I've talked about it with Luca, and I actually watched it myself. And yes, I can agree. The
Yeah, because
ending-
Lucas said like the last like hour of the game is nuts. And I can't even imagine. I can't even imagine what that is.
Yeah,
but
I watched it
yeah,
while
I'm
Luke
definitely-
explained it, and yes, I agree. It's fucking wild. It is.
Awesome. I like
It's
that.
insane. It's like it is really cool. It's really well. It's really.
Is
well
the
done.
music good? Because I've heard the music is
yeah,
good in the
no,
game.
it's
Yeah.
good, yeah. Pretty
Good
much
stuff.
every Nintendo first party is just like
That's
yeah,
true.
music's good.
I will
expected.
say when the reviews came out for this and it was getting like I think it ended up with like an 86. I was like, wow, that's higher than
good.
I expected a Kirby game to be because I don't know. I feel like a lot of the Kirby games have sort of been not shovelware, but a lot of them are kind of like whatever. They
Yeah,
come
they're
out
just
and they
like-
just
Yeah,
like they're fine.
yeah,
But like mostly like the recent like few before this were like super whatever. Like they came out, people forgot about them, didn't even
Yeah.
really think that they were out, and yeah, I don't know. But it's cool that they gave it kind of like the Mario Odyssey, Mario 3D World treatment a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
Very cool.
All right. Do you have any other games, Nathan? Or
no,
is
that's all I've been
That's
other
it?
than the next Metroid Prime game, but I'll leave that until I finish it because I have issues with it.
that understandable? Jamie, we'll get to you because like a lot of the games that you've been playing, I've been playing, and you have one game I think that is just different. So, you can talk about, of course, the game we talked about a couple of weeks ago. Well, how have you been enjoying Hogwarts Legacy? How have you been actually?
Yeah,
enjoying
so the last time I talked about Hogwarts Legacy, I was 9 hours into it.
Yeah.
I'm now 35 hours into it.
Yeah.
Damn.
So I played a little bit more than last time, like a lot bit more than last time.
a little bit more? Yeah.
I am less stoked about this game overall since my first 9 hours.
Okay.
I
Okay.
think the magic is wearing off a little bit. Yes. I think the story is kind of lame. So
Really?
far.
Really? It's just not
Yeah,
good?
like and I don't want to be overly negative on it because I still think it is like I would say like overall I'm enjoying it and I think it is a good game that I feel like most people would enjoy. But yeah, the story is I'm not really invested, and I feel like I'm like I've looked up like not the full walkthrough, but like seeing how many missions I have to go,
Mhm,
and
mhm.
it looks like I'm 2/3 of the way through the missions,
Oh, wow.
the quests, and I'm like even now I'm just like man, this really hasn't taken off. And I did hear that people said that in the last third is where it like they really like it's chock full of storytelling at that
Yeah.
point. I feel like they need to like I feel like I'm not even like I have barely started in the story, but I'm already like 2/3 of the way through it. So it's super strange.
It's good after 70 hours, dude.
What?
It gets good after 70 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you
exactly.
could
Like
have
that's
been
and
hours.
I'm like Jesus, man. Like I also think like having these the quests. Another thing with the quest that I don't like is they do the thing where it's like, okay, I've got to do something. Come back once you've like been around the school a little bit. So they do the like go to the open world, do some of those activities, and then we'll call you when we've got another quest for you. I sort of don't like that. Like I understand why they do it. They want people to explore and not just like mainline the story. But I don't know. I feel like it's nice to have just a constant quest log because sometimes I'll literally have nothing in my quest log.
Yeah.
No, maybe some side missions, but no main missions. And it's
So you
like
just like walk around.
walk around and like do a couple of like open world activities, which I'll talk about in a second. And there's nothing really, there's nothing there's nothing of consequence happening in terms of the storytelling of the game.
Mhm.
But I will say the gameplay is still really fun. I've heard people say that that to them the game feels repetitive. I could sort of agree with that. Like it is, I've sort of at this point kind of figured out 4 spells that I think you basically only need 4 spells to get through the game.
Yeah.
But it's it's as you can make it as various as you want it to. Like you can mix it up if you really want to. And I guess some of the open world activities kind of push you to use certain spells that you maybe wouldn't. Um, but yeah, story, definitely don't play this game for the story. I think the story is kind of lame so far.
Yeah.
In terms of exploration, it's still amazing. I still love exploring this world. Obviously, the last time I spoke about it, I think I just unlocked like the world map, and then I figured out how big this game is,
Mhm.
and it's really big.
Yeah.
There is so much to do. It's like it reminds me of a little bit like Breath of the Wild, where every few steps you're discovering something new.
Yeah. Yeah.
To a lesser extent, like I don't want to compare it to like one of the greatest open worlds of all time, like in that
Mhm.
way. Like it's not on the same level at all, but it does remind me in terms of just the sheer number of things to do and see. In terms of what those things are, uh, they're pretty generic. I got to be honest. They're kind of generic. Like there's these chests you can unlock, and the way to unlock them is like they've got an eye on them, and if you get close to it before you've got the spell, it'll like shut and you can't open it because it's like, well, I see you. So it's like, okay, I need to get the invisibility spell, and then you walk up to it, and then you open the chest and you get some gold. Other stuff, there's some activities called like Merlin trials, which sound cool on paper. But the Merlin trials are just like uh, kind of like Breath of the Wild shrines at home, where it's like you activate the Merlin trial and then you've got to find where the puzzle is, and then the puzzle could just be you've got to destroy these 5 pillars, and then it's like you've
Good
completed the
point.
Merlin trial. I will say the reward for those is good. So if you complete a certain amount of Merlin trials, you unlock extra gear slots, like
Oh.
inventory slots.
Mhm.
Because boy, they give you a lot of gear and you run out a lot. You run out of space a lot, and it's like I that's another annoyance where you go up to a chest and it's like you open it and you might do the Aloha Mora where it's literally like the Skyrim
I was
lockpicking
about to say
mini
that's what
game.
it is, isn't it? Yeah.
It's a little different where you kind of like you've got like two different circles, and you've got to find the correct. I mean, it is a Skyrim lockpicking
Similar.
system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like a Harry Potter version of it. But you'll do the Alohomora, open the chest, and then it will come up with a message saying, you don't have enough gear slots you don't have enough inventory space to grab this.
Oh.
So then I am constantly, oh my god, another thing about this game, you can't dismantle gear. You can only destroy it to give you nothing, or you can go sell it. So like I am literally
waiting to
throwing
sell
money.
shit.
I'm throwing money away because I can't. I've got 48 pieces of shit gear in my inventory that's not worth it for me to have. That I'm wasting hundreds of gold destroying this stuff because I need space to get potentially better gear. And it's got to tell you, really annoying when I destroy a piece of blue gear, and then I go back to the chest, do the hello more again, and it's like, oh, you got a piece of green gear, so it's fucking completely useless, and I wasted more money because I destroyed the blue piece of gear that has a baseline stat of like you get like 90 gold. I think it goes up to a 200 for like a legendary piece of gear or whatever. I don't know, man. I feel like I'm really negative on this game. Like I sound like I'm really
I
negative,
was gonna say
but
it's
I
really
think it's
funny.
like death by a thousand cuts, where it's like enough
Yeah.
things that are like, oh, I don't really like that. Not really a fan of that. To the point where this game goes from like for some people, a game of the year contender, to me, a good game.
Hmm.
A pretty
It-
standard good game that I am enjoying, but not as much after 35 hours of it. And potentially, I don't know how much I've got to go. I have no idea.
It was-
Also, sorry, another thing. The some of the voice acting in this game is not great. Like, there's some like it's mainly some of the students where it's clearly an adult putting on a kid's voice, and
Mhm.
I'm like, that doesn't sound right. That doesn't sound like a kid. That sounds like an adult putting on a, and it's yeah, it's sort of hit or miss, I guess. It's
I thought
and also some of the side missions, some of the lip syncing looks weird, but that's like typical open world stuff. I don't know.
I
Anyway,
found
ask
it
me questions.
I found it really funny how you started off like, "I didn't like as much before," and it ended off with you just completely ranting about how much you
Because I'm
haven't
thinking
enjoyed.
about it and I'm like, holy shit, it is so fucking annoying. It is so annoying when I'm in a mission and I have no way of teleporting out of the mission to go to a vendor to sell my shit.
Mhm.
And I'm literally wasting money. I'm like deleting money
Yeah.
because you don't get there's no materials in the game. It's just the only currency that I can think, it's just money. And
Mhm.
there's also, like there's the room of requirement in the game, which is sort of your hub base where you can dude, there's so many different mechanics in this game. Like even since I last spoke about it, there's like I've unlocked like farming, like tending to animals. There's
Nice.
breeding animals, and
Oh,
they give you like different materials that you then use to upgrade your gear and attach like modifiers to your gear. It's super
mhm.
in depth to the point where I'm like, this doesn't need to be in the game because
It
the
doesn't
game is
have to be
shit
that
easy.
much.
It's so
Yeah.
easy. I don't need. I could literally not upgrade my gear ever and be fine
This
because
game is very political.
it's super political, dude.
It
Very
is
I'm
really
political.
seeing
political.
politics on my screen.
Oh
Yeah,
my
there is
god.
one. Yeah, Jay, my
Um,
question to you, how do you feel about transgender people? Sorry.
Oh my god, no. Trans rights, human rights.
Yeah.
JK Rowling's a piece of shit. I'm gonna keep saying it. Uh, to be honest, I'm shitting on this game a lot. Like
You are. You
I'm,
are.
I, I don't think. I think people, the vast majority of people, just like mid. You know, and I've seen people say this is a game of the year contender. I think you're fucking crazy because I think it's just good. It's just okay.
Mhm.
It's good. It's somewhere in the middle there. It's not my life isn't changing after
Yes.
after playing this
Yeah.
game.
Mhm.
I don't know if I got any more to say about. I mean,
Yeah.
next week I'll probably have finished it, and I can give my like final thoughts on it.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, I definitely think my thoughts on this game are different from when I
Then a
first
couple
talked
weeks ago.
about it,
Yeah,
where
when
I
we
was
first
like,
talked about it, you
"This
were
game is
really hyped.
magical. Like
Yeah,
I love exploring."
you were
I
really
think the
hyped
problem
about
is
it.
like, like I said, the exploration is good. I put a little asterisk against that. The exploration in Hogwarts is good.
Mhm.
The open world surrounding it, it's a bit boring.
It's boring.
It's a
Yeah,
bit like it's a bunch of fields and there's more of the, I think there's like a bit of the map down below that I haven't explored yet, which is more like of an end game area. I don't know. I also don't like that there's like areas where it's like you need to be level 25 to 40 to go here. It's like
yeah, I hate
I'm
that shit.
playing a single player game, man. Like
I
it's
hate
like
that.
I mean, I guess it is an RPG, but I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
know,
I don't like
man.
that. I don't like that. But
I
yeah,
feel like I'm shitting on this game more than I intended to, but it's as I said, it's death by a thousand cuts, where it's like a bunch of
mhm.
little things, and I'm just like,
Well, don't
it's
worry.
it's bringing it down.
Would
Well,
you
don't
give it a
worry.
Talk,
7?
would I give it a 7? I probably would give it a 7, maybe a 6.5,
Mhm.
maybe a
Um,
6.5.
well, don't
Honestly,
worry, Jamie. We can flip to another game that we both have played and we both have agreed is very weird. You want to talk about Atomic Hearts?
yeah.
Yeah.
We
This
can talk
game.
about Atomic Heart.
This game.
I feel like,
Okay.
oh man, I was gonna say, I feel like I'm gonna be so negative in all the games I talk about today. I hate it.
I.
I just want to quickly say, I'm enjoying Hogwarts Legacy. It's just that fucking fix the gear, dude. Just fix the gear score bullshit. Anyway, go on. Atomic Heart.
Atomic
Talk,
Hearts. Look,
you can have the positive
I
perspective.
I think I've played this more than you have. I think I have. I played this more than you have.
Probably.
Um,
I've only played like 2 hours.
I say this to every single person I tell them. Now the community, yes, was very infatuated with some robots, but the
Way too
game,
horny.
the game is so horny. The game itself is so
I
horny.
don't
It's
think it
actually
is though.
really no. How
It's just
far are
the
you into it?
it's the fridge,
No, there's some other
and it's
things.
the twins, and there's
No,
some
and there's
vagina doors.
there's more. There's more.
Okay,
There's
well, don't spoil it, but
I'm not gonna spoil it, but like there's a lot of just like a lot of the machinery, a lot of the robots. It's just it's very horny, the game. And it's like
I think some would say it's very misogynistic, but anyway,
Yeah.
that's, you know.
It's the thing is that it's uncomfortable. It's very uncomfortable. Like the thing is, like I think some people would be okay with it because some people are like sims for this type of shit. But I think that like as a person, I wasn't expecting. I thought this was going to be very much a game of where, I just wasn't expect. Oh, sorry, I wasn't expecting to be this horny. I was expecting the game to lead into that as well.
I
But
gotta say, it reminds me of like a Rick and Morty episode
a
where it's
very
like
much
it's a regular, like you just expect it to be like a punky kind of retro futurist kind of game,
yeah.
and then but everyone's fucking horny and they're just big dicks and huge tits and fucking all this shit. It's like, what the
That is
fuck is
a
going on, man?
That is a great way to put it. Yes, that is very correct. That is very correct.
It's like Rick and Morty have invaded this world. It's so
Yes.
strange.
And the thing about the world is that the world is really cool. It's
It is cool.
really cool. It's a really
I
it's
gotta
a
say,
great idea.
this opening
Oh,
immediately
yeah.
soured me. It is
Oh, yeah.
Nathan. It is 40 minutes. So like
Mhm.
this person is 28 minutes into this game,
And there's still
the
a good
beginning of
15 minutes
this
left.
is walking. It's all walking and
Yeah.
then car and then
There's
walking.
a good
Oh, I feel like
15
I'd
minutes.
quit.
There's a good 15 minutes after.
That's
Where does
why
it
I
actually stop?
stopped when it came out. The night it came out, I was like, "Holy shit! I'm
Where does it actually
40. I'm
stop?
30 to 40
Skip
minutes
to
in
where
this.
Skip to where it actually stops. Skip to let's see how long it took. Because it's actually a great example to see how long
33 minutes.
No, it's still going.
It's a
Oh, no,
cutscene,
no,
and
it's
then
not.
it goes to Atomic Heart.
30
Yeah, he
30
crashes, and
minutes.
then there's more cutscene. Oh, the stutters. See the stutters? Jesus.
The thing is, it doesn't even start here. He picks us up, you kill a couple of things, and then there's another cutscene after this where you meet an old grandma with a rocket launcher.
It is just
and
it
then
is
you're
the
into a
slowest
game.
start in history, and
really
that's
is.
what immediately soured me because I'm like, I know these developers think the world is cool, and it is cool, but
It's
That's way
not
too
this
long.
show the what's that?
It's way too long.
It's way too long.
Mhm.
It is just
It's like a really good portion of the game.
yeah. If the game's 20 hours, so you know that's a good amount of the game that's just literally waiting. I was
Here's
trying to
the
work it
thing.
out, but I'm like, oh, I'm just tired.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing is that
2.5%.
it's not in the fact
Yeah,
that
thank you, thank you.
it's like a 30-minute straight cutscene. It's the fact that it's a start of the game. It's a 30-minute long cutscene. That's the thing, right? He had to kill the thing.
Why is
didn't
this
he?
guy killing this pig? I didn't
Hey, yo.
stab the pig. What the hell?
But like the thing is that the game is really the world building and how the technology works and whatnot. It's really cool. It is
I
really,
like how
really
you
cool.
just mentioned the world building because the gameplay is mid.
Yeah, because the gameplay is horrible.
Okay. I wouldn't go as far to say it's horrible.
No,
I don't
no.
think it's horrible.
I have played more. More, right? And here's the
Yeah.
thing: the weapon play is good. I like shooting guns. Okay,
I
you
don't like
get
that you
enough-
call it weapon play.
Yeah,
Gunplay.
gunplay. The main reason why I think the main reason why I am not a fan is because you don't get enough ammo to only use your guns. You have to melee.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's by design though.
It is by design. No, 100% it is. But
But the melee
running
combat
around,
doesn't feel good.
the melee combat sucks, right? It really does.
As I said,
But-
I said last night, it reminded me of Skyrim 1, like Skyrim vanilla combat, like before you mod it.
Skyrim 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, Skyrim 1, no, but like vanilla, like before you add any melee mods or some shit. It's just like 2011 Skyrim.
Just click.
The other thing about
Yeah.
the combat, which sucks, there's like dodging mechanics. You're supposed to dodge and like dodge different attacks and whatnot. But
Yeah, there is.
95% of your attacks that I ever come across, you literally walk backwards and they don't hit you. And now what I
Oh
gameplay
yeah,
loop
no,
is
100%.
I WS and I S backwards, W hit. S.
Bro, that is straight up
hit.
Skyrim level shit.
It's just walking backwards and forwards, and you're just hitting when you have to. That's all it is.
And to be
Right.
fair, that might get more interesting when you do upgrades to your axe. But for me, at least so far, I've only made one upgrade, which does like a swing all
It
around.
does have like a cleave.
It does like an area effect attack, which is cool. And I actually think after I played a little bit last night after we spoke about it, and I'm a little stronger on the melee combat. Like I'm not as I think the beginning was kind of just completely soured me to the point where I was just like I was nitpicking it more than I would have if the beginning wasn't so boring.
Yeah.
But now that I'm playing a little bit more, I'm like, oh, this isn't necessarily terrible. Like I think where it's sitting in terms of like open critic score, like it's probably around where I'd put it. Like it is in that good territory.
Mhm.
But yeah, there are a lot of, I guess, caveats with that where like,
Yes.
God, dude, the fucking writing in this game is
It's
so bad.
the main character is I dislike him more now the more I played it. The writing in general is bad, but
He
his
sounds
writing
like
for me
Duke Nukem, dude.
no,
It's Leisure Suit Larry Duke Nukem
Yep.
dialogue
it
in
is
the
so
year
much
of our Lord 2023. What
yeah.
the fuck is going on?
He
Who wrote this shit?
HBR.
the way I like to explain him is that they try to make this edgy guy, but he's just annoying. That's literally all it is. It's he just is kind of a dick, and it's not just that. The writing is so
It's the
bad.
it's the English voice actor.
It
Because
is the
I turned on Russian voice.
Mhm.
Um and it's better, but I can't play the game because I need to
Yeah,
keep watching the subtitles. It's like I can't.
yeah,
I've got to play this in English because I'm missing like what would happen. Like last night, I turned it on and I was like, this guy sounds more convincing as the character because I don't
yeah,
really know what Russian swear words sound like. I guess so. I'm
yeah,
just like, it just sounds like he's talking normally. He's not
yeah.
swearing that much. He's also not as emotive in the Russian voice
Okay,
lines.
yeah,
Um, this guy, dude, I think it's the voice actor. The voice actor
it
they got
is.
for this, he's just bad. I'm sorry,
Yeah,
whoever you are, but you
you suck.
suck. I mean, maybe he doesn't suck. Maybe it's
Yeah,
just he was given shitty direction. I don't know.
the most likely is probably just that, but still, it annoys me too much. But
this section's so weird, dude. This part where she just starts fucking wailing on these. It's just weird. It is so odd. This is the beginning of the game. I
yeah,
haven't been given a gun, and I'm watching a granny kill a shit ton of robots.
yeah, it's great. And she pulls out an RPG. No, it's a
Fucking
saw.
bazooka.
Sorry, it's a saw. It's just I hate it. It's just the thing
It's
is
so odd. Look at Nathan. Look at this video game. It is so weird.
I'm not
um
following what the fuck is happening.
oh
I
no,
don't
don't
know
worry. And then
either.
look at
This is
big
the first
robot jumps
character you
down.
meet.
And look, big robot.
I haven't fought him yet. And then, oh, dude, this part for me, the elevator stuttered so badly.
I was
It
about
did.
to say, was
Same
that
for me.
that
The
was just
elevator really
the
set it
game.
for me.
I will
Um,
say, last night I mentioned that, you know, when you a cool mechanic, I'll try and be positive with this game. When you grab, like when you're looting, you do like
yes.
an easy like gravity grab where you just
Mhm.
press F against a room and it grabs all the materials in the room.
Yeah.
That's really cool. I like that.
And
And last
what
night I said it was bugging where it wouldn't always, you'd have to go press a specific area of a cabinet for it to actually
Mhm.
activate. That wasn't happening to me last night when I played more.
Okay. The
I
what I
think it
really
might have been that the day one patch wasn't active, wasn't working, wasn't out when I
yeah.
first played it. So anyway,
What
go
I
on.
really like about that as well is that when you do it, it opens up like all the other cupboards as well, even the cupboards that don't have loot in them. It
Mhm.
literally flies everything open and it'll
Yeah,
grab the
it's a
stuff
really
that
cool effect.
it's really cool and I really like it a lot. You actually you might see a little bit here, but yeah, and like around the map there's like watches, like you might see him grab here. No, there's a watch in this area, but there's watches that you can grab and you see like the little tendrils like actually open the watch and they pull out the chip and whatnot. It's really cool stuff. It's really, really cool stuff. Like the looting is really cool, and I'm gonna be positive. The gunplay is very
It feels
fun.
fine. It's
Uh,
okay.
it's better than what I like the melee combat, right?
Yeah,
Some of the
sure.
boss fights are actually pretty good. They're actually pretty well done, right?
I was gonna say the first boss fight is bad.
The first one is bad. The first one is
It's
bad,
barely a boss fight. I
but
literally just like he was like he had
you like
like
the laser
a
face
boss
guy?
health. He had a boss health bar.
It's
I
the
just
laser
used
face
my
guy.
shotgun and shotgun him to death in two
Yes.
hits, in three
Mhm.
hits. I was like, what the fuck?
The
What?
afterwards, the boss fights turn
Probably
they're
get better.
very
Yeah.
unique. Yeah. There's one boss fight where you're in like a giant kind of like field, and it's
Yeah.
just a giant ball that will like roll around, and then basically eventually it'll open up, and then these like kind of like these vents open up. And you have to shoot into the vents, and
Mhm.
it continues that. But then it has like these different like tentacles and lasers that fly out of it as well.
Right.
Very unique, very cool, and like some of the boss fights do turn very cool. But a lot of the boss fights, same issue where you can just sidestep a lot of the attacks. Like it just the game.
Wait, there's a menu where you can just.
Yes, yes, I
Wait,
learned
they don't
this.
teach you that.
No, I learned this recently as well. I think it's like hold tab or some shit. Yeah, doesn't teach you that. Doesn't teach you that.
Okay, I'm learning new things.
But yeah, no, that's the game overall. I would give it like a right now. I would give it like a okay. It's good. You know, it's like a 6 out of 10.
Whoa.
Oh my
It's a
god, what is this?
That was the game.
Yeah.
yeah. It's like a 6 out of 10. I wouldn't give it too much.
Yeah,
Right.
I don't think very highly of it. I think it might get better, but I've also seen people say like um it gets annoying when you get to the open world area, and I'm like, what fucking open world area? Like there's an
Open
open
world
world
area?
area in this.
There
Yeah,
is.
apparently opens up and there's a fucking full on open world area where you're just
Very weird.
exploring, and it's like This game might be a thing where the scope might have been too big for
Too big.
this is their first game, and it's like I feel like they put everything into it, and maybe they put too much into it.
Yeah.
I will say graphically, super impressive.
Yes.
Super impressive graphically.
Especially that kid's 6-hour cutscene.
Yeah, the 6-hour sex scene with the Valorant twins. That meme is so fucking stupid. I don't even know where that came from. I don't know who started it. It's probably the developers because they wanted marketing. It worked out because people were talking about it. It was like Atomic Heart was trending on Twitter for like 2 weeks before the game actually came out because
people want to have
people were
sex
talking
with
about the ballerinas.
People want to have sex with robots,
which apparently they're in it for like only 15 minutes or whatever.
Yeah, but people got horny.
Yeah, it's like a Lady Dimitrescu, where everyone's like, "Oh, she's such a cool character, and she big woman." And she's in it for like the first act, and then she's dead.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think it's okay.
Yes.
I also have a thing where sometimes I'm walking through the level too quickly, and the dialogue hasn't caught up yet. And so, like in this area right now, where he's doing the first stealth takedown, which looks fucking weird.
This guy
he also failed it. He also failed the stealth takedown.
He did exactly the same thing I did, where I thought it was a hold on a mash.
Oh yeah, no, I got it. I got it because it did when for some reason for the B there, it didn't do the same animation, but for when with mouse and keyboard, it had like a pulsing thing on it. Which is kind of easy to miss, to be honest. I think first of all, I did the same thing where I thought it was a hold, and then I noticed I was like not doing anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, like when I entered this room, it was like the guy my glove was talking, and then he just like that cut out, and he's like, "Do a stealth takedown."
Yeah.
I was like, where's the enemy? I wasn't even looking at the enemy. And I turn around, I'm like, I just see the guy looking in a corner. I'm like, oh, I guess that guy, like...
My guy was explaining lore about why the hell the robots are going crazy.
Yeah, exactly. Same thing happened to me.
Like...
Do a stealth takedown. Do a barrel roll. Like, it was... Yeah, no, it's... I think it's... I sort of talked about this with the game that... I keep forgetting the name of the game, Seto. But where it looks really good, but I think, like, in terms of the polish, it's very, like... indie game level polish in terms of just like not in terms of like there's no bugs that I've really seen too much. It's also got Skyrim lockpicking.
It does.
Literally like straight out of Skyrim, like the same thing.
It looks like it.
Yeah, I don't know why every game now is doing that all of a sudden. I mean, a bunch of games did, but two really close together.
Morrowind had it too.
That's true. That's a good point. Yeah, no, I don't know. It's just I'm not fully sold on it yet. I'm still going to give it some more time because
I'm going to finish it.
I'll probably finish it too, although 20 hours is a lot for
I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it, but like, yeah, I'm going to finish it because I'm already nearly done with him. Like,
it depends if it starts to open up a little bit and like the combat feels better based on your upgrades. Like I'm hoping that's the case because right now it's fairly basic. And I'm hoping it does
get more advanced. It does get more advanced. You start getting new
I
abilities.
would hope so. And you start... It'd be really boring.
Yeah, you start getting new abilities and whatnot. It does open up quite a lot, but
yeah. I think I stopped last night. I unlocked like the freeze, and you could shove a bunch of fucking
because
on the enemies.
There's like freeze, there's fire and stuff like that, and those affinities work together as well. They do different shit. Like it is like it doesn't.
You can put like the fluid or whatever the fuck on them, and then that enhances the flame and the spark and stuff.
Yes, exactly.
That stuff's cool. I like that. Yeah. As I said, I'm not hating my experience with it, but I'm not like overall like really loving it yet.
Same. I just had to get the vent out a little because it does annoy me quite a lot. Some of the decisions they make.
It's just some annoying things. It actually reminds me of Hogwarts Legacy, where there's just like it's like Death by 1,000 Cuts, where it's just a bunch of little things that build up to make it not as enjoyable as it could be. But that's all I got to say about Atomic Heart. You know.
Yeah.
Now it does help that it's on Game Pass.
It does help a lot. Now I feel like we should. I feel like because we've been playing all the same games, Jamie. I feel like another game we should talk about that we're both very excited for. We talked about before. I think we should talk about a little bit of. You want to talk about Wild Hearts?
Oh, what were you going to talk about?
I was going to say Destiny, but I'm down for some Wild Hearts, and then we can do some Destiny. Destiny it is.
About Destiny. I don't have. I mean, I feel like I talked a little bit in the already. I was just going to say that this final cinematic that they played at the end of the season was fucking cool, and it like drove really my hype up so much.
Oh yeah, because like it's just cool. It's just really cool. Like especially if you know the lore about this shit. Like these,
and it's not even it's not even just that, but there's so many cool shots like this. Hold on. Wait, where is it? This one coming up. This shot's so fucking good.
That shot, yeah.
That's
Like,
such a good shot, dude.
it's such a good shot because
Love
like
it.
if like in the lore of what's going on, like this travel is basically a pussy and will leave as soon as it feels threatened. So that's literally what it's doing here, but it's trapped basically. So like it literally was going to leave us, but it basically got trapped, and it's just like it lore wise, it's just really cool, and it's just a really well done cutscene.
It's a really well made cutscene, like cinematically, and it actually, like, the voice acting is good. It's story wise, it's one of the pinnacles, one of the highest points of Destiny storytelling wise, I
100%.
think.
Yeah,
And yeah, it was just it was a fun experience to log on was it last week or the week before? Last week, right?
last week.
Yeah, log on last week and have this mission to do, and then ending with this cutscene that sort of leads into Lightfall. Yeah, it was just cool. It was just a cool experience, and I think it's like it's the benefit of a live service game where it really feels like you've been on a journey to get here.
Yeah, 100%.
In a way that some some games don't feel like that because you kind of play them in like a week, and it's like, okay, like it just feels like, since 2014 leading up, it feels like everything's leading up to this moment in a cool way.
Mhm.
And I just really appreciate that. Like, it's an experience that you could only get from a game,
Yeah,
where you
yeah.
feel like this connection to your character and the characters in the game and the story overall, because you've lived it, you've experienced it from year to year.
Mhm.
It's just special. It's a special experience. And it sucks that it's not something that everyone can kind of experience. Like, if someone just logged on and saw this, did that mission and saw the cutscene, they'd be like, "Oh, okay, big deal." Like,
Yeah, big deal. Big orb
big
leave.
pyramid. But like, if you know the characters, you know the stakes.
Mhm.
It's just like,
Like,
shit's
you know
cool,
what's
man.
going on. It's
Yeah.
really well done. It's really well done. Yeah, it's
And
really
I'm just
cool.
gonna end with the coolest shot, which is just like such a cool
So
callback
yeah, to literally
to
Destiny 1.
Destiny
Literally to
1,
Mm.
like the
Destiny
first
1.
Destiny art you saw, which is like the
Mhm.
traveler over Earth, like
Yeah,
that.
it's really cool.
It's just
It's really
cool.
cool.
Like, it's just, I don't know. It feels like, and that shot feels like the culmination. It's like
It
we've
does.
gone full circle,
Mhm.
and
Now it's
it's
like
coming to an end. Like, it's
now it
happening. Like,
literally is the end
this is
game.
when
Yeah.
we're at the second last expansion.
Mhm.
Who knows what's gonna happen?
Exactly. We
And
die.
just,
Our characters
the
die.
tagline
Exactly.
for this, "Our end begins." So
Mhm.
sick. Anyway,
It's really
what else do
cool.
you want to talk about, Seto?
Well, no, that's really it. That's I just quickly like we did, as I said, we did talk about a lot, and I just want to quickly get that one out of the way because yeah, it's just hype. It's just very exciting, and we're probably gonna have a pretty decent section next week talk about Lightfall.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we'll probably have a really big section, especially since the fact that we are doing campaign when it first comes out and stuff like that. We're gonna have a lot to talk about. So yeah, I just want to quickly
Full
get out of the way.
campaign review next week, guaranteed.
Exactly. We are
Oh,
it's very hype.
goody.
Yeah,
Oh, you'll love it, Nathan. You'll love
you'll
it.
love it, Nathan.
We're
You'll love
gonna
it,
try
Nathan.
and sell you on it.
Exactly, Nathan. We'll sell you on it, but
Oh, goody. No, I'm sure it'll be good. I'll probably play it at some point.
yeah, yeah. Get ready to lose some points on fantasy league.
Yeah, I'm not sure how
Um,
that fantasy critic is gonna go. And to be honest, like, are we? Do we want to keep going with the games, or we are running a bit long?
Yeah.
What do you think?
how long are we running? I can talk about games next week 'cause I
We
haven't
have
played
20
my
minutes left in our quota.
Yeah, I'm
Okay,
happy.
cool.
I'm happy to talk about the other game I was going to talk about, and then we can talk about. You can play a little bit more of the other game that you have on there.
Yeah, no. I'll get rid of one. I'll just talk about the other one that I know I already finished. I can talk about quickly. So yeah, you can talk. So yeah. So we're gonna do fantasy critic. Or you want to talk about my game?
Wait, hold on, I'm
What's
confused.
Hmm.
Yeah,
We can
what's
do.
going on?
We'll just do fan. We'll
Fantasy
do.
critic? Yeah, I can talk
Yeah.
about this other game next week. That's all good.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
all good.
Let's do fantasy critic.
Fantasy critic. Fantasy critic. All right.
So where do we want to start here? Do we want to start with? I guess we'll just do the points. So since
Yeah.
last time, since we showed this, I guess now we have point. There's points on the board.
There is.
I don't think we showed the scores when Seto got the Dead Space points.
No.
Like, there were no
No.
points yet. It was just when Nathan and I did our betting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which Seto still hasn't done.
I still haven't done anything else. Don't worry about that. Don't worry
Insta
about
throwing,
that. Yeah,
insta
yeah,
throwing.
it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Don't worry.
I mean, Nathan, here you go through it. You go through it.
Yeah, Seto's got 19 points from an 89 from the Dead Space remake. Obviously,
which is a
a
good start.
pretty
It's a
good
good
start.
Yeah.
It is a good start.
Yeah.
Good start.
I've got confirmed 11 points from Company of Heroes. It was a nice, easy one.
Mhm.
And then Octopath, when that gets locked in, will be 16 points.
Yeah, good 16.
Yeah. Jamie's got like a Dragon Ishin for 11. Atomic Heart
Lower
for
than
4.
I was gonna say lower than I thought it was gonna be for Ishin.
Yeah.
It was gonna be like an 85, but anyway, it's fine.
And Atomic Heart for 4. What were you expecting
Yeah.
there? Think it'll be better?
Well, to be fair, I was expecting closer to 80 for that
Yeah.
because the trailers looked really good. But to be honest, when the reviews first came out, and I told Seto this,
Yeah.
it was at a 63, and
It
I
was
was like,
low.
"Oh no!"
Lucky.
And then luckily it's edged up a little bit.
Yeah.
So
It has.
I once I got past 70, I'm like, you know what? It's better this way. I don't care how
And
much above it is.
Horizon Call of the Mountain, that's the VR game, isn't it?
Yeah.
Was it
That's
81?
a surprisingly low score.
Very
Yeah.
low.
Yeah.
A lot of the reviews, from what I could glean from it, it's kind of just a cool tech demo.
Right.
It's not like the kind of Half-Life Alex gameplay, kind of actual game that people were kind of hoping for. It's okay. It's not. I'm really worried about PSVR 2, man, because like the way some of the reviews are talking, it's like it's cool tech, but there's just not the games aren't there. It's
Not
just
there.
not.
In.
It's not ready for prime time.
Yeah.
There you go.
But yeah, I was expecting, honestly, I was expecting all three of them to be much higher, but I'll take a respectable
26 is good.
26 points for now.
26 is good.
And
yeah.
also, these weren't even in my original 10.
Yeah,
These are
you
just like
took-
freebies, basically.
Yeah, you used to got Resident Evil 4, Spider-Man 2.
Oh, man.
like you,
Resident
you
Evil
still
4 is gonna
got.
kill.
Yeah.
Surely.
Like that's Lightfall next week is gonna bump you up a lot.
Ooh,
That's
kill.
gonna
And that's gonna bring Nathan down
Yeah,
a little
what-
bit.
I'm expecting
look
an
up the upcoming
85
releases.
for Lightfall.
85 for Lightfall? Okay.
Yeah.
85. I could see that. I could see an 85 to 86. That's what I'm
Which
looking
is
at.
what I thought it would probably be when I bet on it.
Bro,
I just-
wait till it gets
Right,
like a
okay.
90. Wait till it gets like a 90.
Well, I will say Witch Queen got an 88, so
Yeah.
there is
it's
that.
true.
But I will see. I mean, maybe it might end up being lower than Witch Queen. I think Witch Queen might have been like lightning in a bottle kind of moment.
There weren't that many good options for
There really
for
weren't.
counterballing for me.
I'm even worried about actually, I'm not worried
Yeah.
about Kerbal Space Program 2 now that I found out that you don't.
Yeah, but Risk of Rain 2.
It has
Risk
to
of Rain
release for the points to count.
Now that
But
it's
as I
not-
said, we can overwrite that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Risk of Rain
Um,
Returns is
I think
the.
we probably should overwrite that. 'cause
Yeah, 100%.
we thought
100%.
that it was going to be that case.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, what's coming out soon? Company
Company Heroes?
Heroes. That's the one that
That's
I've already got
that's
points
already-
for. And
yeah.
Octopath. Yeah.
Yep,
So
and then
Destiny
Destiny 2
Lightfall's
Lightfall. That's the
next.
big one. That's
Oh,
the
but
big one.
actually, to be fair, so it doesn't show them here, but Kerbal Space Program 2 and Sons of the Forest come out tomorrow.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
those points will end up on there, but I've got to override them for them to count. And then March we've got Wolong Fallen Dynasty, which I think is going to score really well.
That's probably gonna score well.
Dead
yeah.
Cells Return to Castlevania is definitely going to score well.
Yeah,
The
100%.
last one was like a 90 something.
Yeah, it does
Um,
well.
And then the last two for March are Resident Evil 4 Remake, which I think is going to kill, and Terra Nil, which has got a
Mhm.
release date. I think that's going to do
Mhm.
really well as well. Exciting games coming up. March is
There
going to
is.
be really
March
big,
should be
like
big.
February was.
March should be big.
February, we're not as big as February because like this week there's like 7 fucking games releasing or some shit, but
Mhm.
March is still going to have some secrets, some surprises, I think.
March is gonna be big. yeah.
What? Man, we've got so I keep forgetting how many segments we have now.
We do. Well, we do have one more thing, and I think that's it. You wanna
Well,
just do
so
one more
we're
thing?
building the list.
Yeah, that's,
Oh, yeah,
we're gonna have
things-
to let that go for a week.
Okay.
the-
That's fine. We'll do 2 next week.
yeah. I'll find a new website to build
Yeah.
the list on. The one that we chose is shit the bed. It's just been down for like 2
busted.
days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, then in that case,
One more thing.
it's time for one more thing.
One
Uh,
more thing.
This is where we'd have like a
Yeah.
like a little jingle. You know?
You're
Uh,
gonna have to start paying me if you want some post effects in here.
yeah. You know what, Nathan? You haven't been around for a while. You can start off with your one more thing.
Haven't been around for a while.
Yeah.
Just born.
Yeah, just one.
Just
What's your one
spawned
more
in,
thing?
boys.
What's your one more thing?
I told you before we started I was gonna go full nerd this
Yeah.
week.
How nerdy are you going? Full?
Not nerdy, maybe more geeky.
Geeky,
I have
full
brought a Raspberry Pi.
Oh, that is
Nice.
fucking nerdy.
That is-
Where's
that is
mine,
nerdy.
dude? I've got one somewhere.
I also
Yeah.
have a Raspberry Pi outside as well. So yeah.
I've had this one for a while,
What are you
but
doing with it?
what I am doing with it, I have 2 main uses for mine. One that I decommissioned because I was having some issues with it that I haven't gotten around to actually doing. I was using something called Pi-hole. It's basically like a custom DNS server that you can set up and have monitoring for, and it's pretty cool. If you don't know what that is, it's fair enough. It's networking shit.
Overstock?
And also I have set up like it's kind of like a phone router for my whole home network. So for when my really good home internet that is very reliable goes down, I can basically just plug my Raspberry Pi into my router, and
That's
my
fucking
whole
cool.
home network runs off my phone, which I plug into the Pi.
That's very useful.
I think we need to replace your face with the big brain emote.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Because I was sick of because my internet was down for 3 weeks at one point.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah.
And I didn't have this, and then I was like, I need to have some sort of backup because
Then you back up, yeah.
can't even use like the Chromecast. I can't fucking do it. Like the lights sometimes don't work because my smart lights. It's like
You're all fucking Wi-Fi
anything in my
lights.
Yeah.
Stupid connected lights. We
yeah,
live in darkness now.
and I've had this for a while, so I just set it up, and
Hell yeah.
I've also got a custom like cooling case for it. So you see, it's like
Oh, that's a fancy one. Mine was
front
some
and the back,
dog shit.
and it's got fans on it.
Mine
nice.
was flat. Mine's a flat.
Yeah, mine
base.
has no cooling solution.
No, mine has nothing.
Then a
Mine is-
This is a
shitty
good one. It
case.
was only $30, I think.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
there
they're
you go.
pretty
Yeah,
cheap.
very
They're
good.
not bad.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
very
cool.
good.
Yeah.
Very good. Okay.
So, what's yours?
I'll go next. This was a quick because we talked about it last week. Luca brought out to us before El Paso Everywhere. The trailer that came out. We did watch it. I was going to bring it up with you and ask you quickly. Are you changing it from a hot or a cold? Which one are you changing it to?
Oh,
this is my one more thing.
I think I said mine was a hot, didn't I?
Yeah, I didn't look at what you put in because I don't look at your messages. But
it's a hot. It's a hot.
Yeah, 100%. It looks
yeah,
so
dude. It's
good.
like
That
it's Max Payne, but with fucking
I
vampires and zombies. Nathan has no idea what we're talking about.
No, I do. I watched
you
the
watched it?
episodes.
Okay, I wasn't sure.
okay.
I wasn't sure if you watched the content.
But
You know, I don't know.
My one more thing is
The
basically
only
that
2
game-
episodes I've watched.
Yeah, obvious, naturally.
My one more thing is that it looks good. It looks good. Like it does.
I'll give it a hot.
Yeah, I give it a
I
hot.
hope it comes out this year.
I
Does it have a
really
date at the
do.
end of it?
They said fall. They said fall 2023. So yeah.
Probably
yeah,
October then.
yeah, probably October.
Yeah, it's the end, isn't it? Yeah.
Not too bad.
I
not too
wouldn't
bad.
bet on it. You know, indie games they can get delayed.
Yeah.
So my one more thing. I had no one more thing before today. I was like, maybe I'll talk about Ant-Man, but I'm gonna shit on it because I didn't really like it that much. But then I started watching a TV show today because I'm like, I need something to watch. Like I've got Last of Us on Mondays. I've got Poker Face on Fridays.
You go Wank
Next
Wednesdays.
week, Wank Wednesdays, of course. And then Mandalorian next week on Wednesdays. That's cool. So I'll have it but I need something in between, you know, something easy. So I was on Apple TV Plus as I am, because as I said, I think it's the best streaming service easily. So many fucking quality shows. And I started watching a show called Shrinking. Shrinking, right? I'm throwing. Shrinking? Shrinking. It's called Shrinking.
Okay.
So it's about a father who his wife dies in a car accident, and he is a shrink. And he fucking unravels basically from that. And he's like grief stricken, but it's like not like depressing grief stricken. It's like he goes fucking nuts and he's doing crazy things. And it is so funny. It's so hilarious. It's like a really cool black comedy. Great. It's got fucking Harrison Ford in it. He's
okay.
Oh yeah, I've seen that one.
yeah, no, it's really good. I've only seen the first episode, but I am definitely gonna watch more of it. It's fucking hilarious.
Okay.
And there's some really nice like bittersweet moments too. So it's got the whole full range, like hardcore drama, but also with funny moments. And I can't wait to watch more. I thought it was great. So highly recommend it. Also only 30-minute episodes, so it's quick.
So it's quick.
binge.
How many seasons? How many seasons?
There's only one season. It only just came out. There's only at the moment there's 5 episodes out, and the 6th comes out on Friday.
It's
so
very
so it's still. I think it's gonna be 8 total.
Yeah. Not bad.
But it might. It could just be a mini series. I'm not sure if it's going to be like a full, like multiple season kind of thing.
Yeah, very good.
But yeah, really quality. Apple TV Plus. Also, I'm just going to shout out Apple TV Plus because holy shit, it's too good.
Yeah,
it really is. Like if you're sick of Netflix's fucking shovelware bullshit every week,
Apple TV
Plus, man.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll have to check it out. I feel like the only reason I haven't is just because I don't own anything Apple.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same.
There is. I'm pretty sure there's a Chromecast app now. There's got to be an Android app for Apple TV.
Oh, there is. Yeah, if I can cast it, that'd be great. Because at the time,
I'm pretty sure there is, or I believe there's a PlayStation 5 app as well.
Yeah, you said there was a Samsung app as well. Which
there is a Samsung app as well. Yeah.
There is a Samsung app.
Yeah.
Very good. Well, that's everything, right, boys? That's everything.
That's everything.
Well, very good. Very good. Okay. Well, thank you all very much for listening. And I guess we'll be back next week talking about some LIFO, we'll talk about some more Metroid Prime, and hopefully we can get some good news about Suicide Squad. But yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk about that too. It's gonna be a packed week next week. Yeah.
And Forza.
And Forza. Yeah, and Forza. And there's
Pokemon,
the Pokemon
yeah.
conference, and the first trailer for Halo Infinite Season 3 comes out.
Yeah, can we write we need to start a document after this to write this down.
Yeah. There's a lot. There's a fucking shit ton to talk about next week.
We'll start organizing right now. But yeah, thank you all very much for listening, and we will see you all next week. Bye, guys.
Bye.